6:04. Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP, mornings with Brian Haldane, off and running. Brian here with you. Wilton Landry producing. We're getting you ready for a Friday show that I'm looking forward to a great deal. We're going to cover a lot of ground today, y'all. Tomorrow is election day. That will be a running theme throughout the show. Where are the receipts on the police reports? That'll be a theme throughout the show. ROCCO's going to burn everything to the ground. That'll be a theme throughout the show. We got a lot to get to, so let's get to it. Top stories and trending. Let's go. Judge Gail Horn-Ray, whose son is a convicted serial rapist, will still preside over the trial of Kason Carver, a man who's accused of raping Madison Brooks. Despite the state's second request for her recusal, she is not recusing. A teenager who was found shot to death in the South Downs neighborhood early Thursday morning. There was a teenager who was found shot to death in the South Downs neighborhood early Thursday morning. Sources told our news partners at WBRZ a 15-year-old boy's body was found in the middle of Poplar Street near Lee Drive around 2 a.m. People in the area assumed the person had been hit by a car, but the teen had in fact been shot and killed. Tomorrow is Election Day, along with the closed party runoffs for Senate here in Baton Rouge. There are proposed millage renewals. Those renewals will be for Breck, the Council on Aging, and the library. Coming up at 6:50, Mary Stein from the library going to stop by to talk about hers. Take you out to Roseland. A man arrived at an emergency room with multiple gunshot wounds on Wednesday afternoon. Tangipahoa Parish Sheriff's Office is working to identify who shot him. The 21-year-old man who was shot was in critical but stable condition as of yesterday. Sean Atkinson, 62 years old, was arrested in Mobile, Alabama after evidence from a crime scene of a murder that was committed in 1987 was submitted for DNA analysis. DNA results identified Atkinson as a suspect. He is awaiting extradition back to Baton Rouge. What you got there, Wilton?
Couple things. Things are developing in Venezuela and not in a good way. Yesterday at this time in the morning, we were reporting a few dozen dead confirmed from the earthquakes in Venezuela. We were expecting that number to rise, and it certainly has. Just heard from ABC, our news partners, that is actually at 265.
265. Yeah. I checked in an hour ago. It was 235.
It's going up as those numbers are coming
in. And look,
in.
Thousands injured, and they have that golden window, they call it, where, before they change everything from rescue to recovery. Yeah. They got to be closing in on that as well. So just horrific scene.
Absolutely. Also yesterday, Iran struck a vessel in the Strait of Hormuz Thursday. That is forcing a pause on evacuations of the stranded seafarers and demonstrating their ability to continue to restrict that critical waterway, despite reaching a kind of tenuous agreement last week with the United States.
There's so many different pieces moving around in this, though. It's just like there are official pieces, government pieces, pieces that have to do with Hezbollah instead, which carry over in other countries. I don't know if we're ever going to get everybody on the same page all at the same time for long enough. And that at the same time, though, that's why this is going on like forever. I don't know what made us think we could solve it this time around, but here we are.
Yeah, and that's where we are for now.
Yep.
Also, the third thing is the search is on right now in the countryside of West San Antonio for one missing individual. We got a description here. Age 3 years old, approximately 11 feet tall. You heard that right. Weighing in around half a ton and covered in orange spots. Gracie the giraffe escaped from her enclosure at an exotic animal breeding ranch about 1 week ago. Still on the loose.
Gracie's on the loose. Be on the lookout for Gracie the giraffe in the San Antonio area. I saw some pictures of this. It's Breland, hop on 4 over here. You worked at the zoo. How much do you know about giraffes?
I'm coming. So first off, this is insane.
Yeah.
How does a giraffe just escape like that? But yeah, so a giraffe, I'm going to tell you.
Is 3 years old an adult?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I want to know.
She's an adult.
Okay. So here's the thing. From time to time, I'll forget why I went into a room and not be able to find what I was looking for.
Mm-hmm.
How you lose something 11 feet tall?
That's what I'm saying.
Okay. That's all I want to know.
So you want to hear a quick story?
Go for it.
When I was at the Baton Rouge Zoo,
did you lose a giraffe?
So the biggest show, the cops showed up at the zoo. It was like my 2 weeks at the zoo, my first 2 weeks, and I'm like, what is going on? Well, the story was somebody called in a prank saying that a giraffe was going down Thomas Road at Brett's Baton Rouge Zoo. I know. And so I'm like, really? And everybody thought, and Jim goes, so the news director, Jim Flushman, he starts chuckling. And the foundation came in, Rhonda Rufino, and they're like, why are you here again? And they said, well, somebody legit called in and said a giraffe is walking down Thomas Road. Jim calls the curators and he's like, we got both giraffes. And he's like, okay. He looks at the cop and he said, we got all the giraffes. Like,
right. It's not something you can really mistake.
Yeah, how do you just lose a giraffe?
You don't lose a giraffe unless you are the Cedar Hollow Ranch in Real County, Texas, who is missing an 11-foot tall giraffe called Gracie.
This
so
is crazy.
I know.
You don't.
A week now. A week now. By the way.
Yeah.
A week now.
What?
Yeah. This thing.
So if somebody found it and is storing it, for one, where are they stored it? That's what I'm saying.
So yeah, the story that I saw said it was a week ago. I was looking up Gracie in particular to see if there was more backstory for her. And yeah, it says the escape and search, the incident. Gracie escaped her enclosure in mid-June after wandering up a rocky hillside and stepping over the property's perimeter fence.
For one, a giraffe doesn't just step over the property's perimeter fence.
Well,
because
apparently Gracie
at the Baton Rouge
did.
Zoo, we have some tall fences.
You're not talking about a zoo. We're talking about, we're talking about a privately owned ranch. We are getting very close to that Joe Exotic range.
I know.
That's where we're at. I mean, it's not a tiger, and there's not that B. Carol Baskin.
They are smart. These giraffes. So she has probably been scoping out and waiting at the perfect time.
I get this image of like the giraffe trying to stay in disguise, like wearing a hat and glasses.
And waiting for the perfect time.
Right. Got the Groucho Marx glasses and mustache, All right. So if you see Gracie, do not try to apprehend Gracie.
Oh my God.
Here's the thing. Okay. I need homework from you for before next trending stories.
All right. I'm doing it.
I want to know what kind of how far a giraffe can travel in a day.
Let me do that.
If Gracie's hanging around San Antonio, that's one thing. But if she hightailed it east, could she be headed towards Houston or something? How far would Gracie make it?
See, I don't know that, but I know how much a giraffe can drink water in a day, 10 to 20 gallons. You see what I mean? I know weird trivia like that.
Giraffes and data centers just sucking down water all day long.
Yeah.
That's where we're at.
See, but I'm on it.
All right. We got to tell you about Mathern's before we take our first break. You know what? I might be swinging by Mathern's today for lunch. Well, no. ROCCO's coming in. Okay. Well, I know I'm going to get spoiled by ROCCO. So maybe next Friday. I like to swing by Mathern's to hit that hot wing bar over there at the Mathern's on campus, Nicholson Gateway Shopping Center, directly across the street from Tiger Stadium. And they put out a whole bevy of wings, multiple flavors, and they're all fantastic. Now, if you are not near campus, if you are downtown, the lunch at Mathern's is fantastic. Oh, by the way, if you're over there in the Kenilworth area, Mathern's at Kenilworth, same thing. Now, one more thing. 4th of July is coming up next weekend. Be on the lookout. There will be a whole bunch of specials going on. You got meat to throw on the grill. You want meat to throw on the grill. It is America's 250th birthday. If you're not firing up some charcoals, what are you even doing? Mathern's is going to be your stop. And if you download the Mathern's Rewards app, you're earning cash towards more groceries every time you shop at Mathern's. Sorry, I should have given you a heads up about that.
No, that's okay. I know weird trivia like that.
Well, I figured because of your time at the zoo, you would, but
Okay, if you guys are going like that, or if it's just you, and it hits 6:11, do you want me to cue you or something?
That's not a hard break.
Okay.
20's a hard break. 30's a hard break. 47-ish, but I can actually move that to the backside if I need to. Today, 47's a hard break because we got a guest on both ends. Yeah.
But that changes day to day. I shouldn't write that down on my sheet.
No, I have that there for you already. Yeah. See, break on stack unless directed by Brian to skip to leg first. Pay attention to his cues, and he'll tell you that. So, for example, if I'm counting them down to 47, he may tell me 51, and I'm like, okay, we're gonna skip.
So there's reason to everything I do. There's nothing that I do that is not like calculated. If I've got guests on both sides, 2 separate guests on both sides of the break, which I normally don't, but if I've got a guest at 6:35 to 6:47 and a guest at 6:52, I'm going to get out on time for 47 because if I run long there, my other guest does not have enough time to be a guest. That's an 8-minute segment on the back end. If I shrink it down, if we go all the way up to your money now at 6:50, now my guest on the other side only has 5 minutes instead of 8. That's a shitty interview and not worthy of posting the content online. So, now if I don't have some guest schedule in the back end and it's just me doing a news story or a hot take or whatever, I'll go ahead and push it sometimes because I can squeeze me. I don't want to squeeze a guest.
Once again, don't worry about video. Audio is always important first. But I'm just doing it. I'll put sports in there. If you remember to do it, well, great. If not, audio first. So we're ready for the sports cuts. The 16. And look, you can go ahead and put Adobe up and take it on the queue and we'll be ready. Now today, when you post your stories, look. Chief Roger, he's going to be featured today. So you're going to pass on the categories all over us?
Right.
Yeah.
Says only Millie probably.
All of them. You ready to rejoin now? Put it in that. Off. Rejoin. Put it in the
616 Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP, mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. It is sports time. 2 quick sports items for you this morning, the first of which comes from the World Cup. U.S. They came so close to running through the qualifying stages unblemished, but Turkey put it to them yesterday. It was 2-1 at halftime. The U.S. tied it up in the second half, but Turkey does end up beating the U.S. 3-2 before it's all said and done. So I believe USA will play Bosnia-Herzegovina on Wednesday in the round of 32. So moving forward, putting that one behind them, moving forward, they are, as I understand it, looking good. I know nil about soccer, so I'm not going to try to pretend. See, I use the word nil. I'm not going to try to pretend like I'm an expert, but they'll be coming up on Wednesday, and we will be dialed in. What? By the way, if you know for certain, and I've heard both sides of this argument, but if you know for certain why we're looking at a jacked up spelling of the name Turkey everywhere we turn around, I've talked to 2 people who are from Turkey who have said, I don't know what that's about. It's always been Turkey. But like now, instead of it just being Turkey, like, 3 strikes in a row in bowling, or the bird that Benjamin Franklin wanted to be our nation's bird, it's got a different spelling and a different pronunciation apparently. And maybe we're all just morons who have been mispronouncing it this whole way, but I've heard both sides of it and I would like to know. So if you know, post up in our Facebook live feed. We're live on Facebook. What? You're not on a microphone. I know. It's I don't know how they're pronouncing it. It looks like not to be all Cajun, but it looks like Turkey. And it's Turkiye. Turkey. I don't know. Anyway, it's jacked up when you look at it. So if you got the full explanation, I would love to know. Gonna, plead ignorance on this one. In the meanwhile, bringing it back home, the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame inducts its 2026 class tomorrow night. Former LSU basketball coach John Brady led LSU to 4 NCAA tournament appearances and 2 SEC regular season titles. In 2026, he became the 3rd Tigers coach to lead a team to the Final Four. He says that team, man, that was a special group. Cut 16.
The feelings they had for one another, and then on top of that, trying to do something for the state to give them something to be proud about and to really take that team to the Final Four. And then the highlight of the whole season, obviously, was when we were able to beat Duke. They were number 1 in the country, the number 1 overall seed.
I forgot about that. Man, rewind the clock like that for just a second. We're not going to get to the rest of the cuts, Wilton. Sorry about that. Rewind the clock just a minute. Remember, that was just as much post Katrina as the run that the football team had before running out of steam as well. And that game against Duke where they put JJ Redick on lockdown. That was a special time. It's 6:20. Here's the Fox Business Report. Should that be in my ears? Wait, no. I mean, I'm asking. Was it in program 1 the whole time? Okay, program 1 feeds the air, so it's got to be in 1 before it's anything else.
No, it was in program 1.
Okay.
It was in program 1. I thought you meant you were.
No. I would prefer my headphones to be in 1 because I take them off when we're in break anyway.
Okay.
So.
When he does that, remember, I told you I was push a button over here. This is your meter. Control room. Here. Studio. There. So when he's like, I can't hear, or I can hear something. Yeah. What's the meter, Brian? I know control room. No, don't worry. It has an ad. It has an ad. Fox always has an ad. Control room's here. Studio's there. What's meter though?
What?
On the board.
What you're looking at with the.
Oh, okay.
Oh, we didn't get out of Parkview Baptist last night with basketball. We didn't get out till after 9:00, and Christy and I were starving, so we smashed down some Starbucks falafel. Bro, they are so good. They're so slow at night, but they're so good. And I'm still like, it's heavy. Starbucks falafel, Greek and Lebanese food right across. It's on Sherwood. But they had this big kerfuffle when they first opened up because they called themselves Starbucks. And they've got a complete branding, like it's all the green and white that looks like a Starbucks. So, no, like you remember the movie Coming to America? How he was McDowell's, not McDonald's? Same, okay. Well, same principle. They're just basically trying to steal the marketing, right? And it's just really good, but so heavy. And different. There, you'll find a couple of different menu items. A couple items are, I think Syrops is better than Albasha. The Syrops Express of Government Street, or the one downtown.
Whenever this stack finishes, you're going to read the traffic line before I do the brief one?
In traffic, you never have to keep traffic. It always, Kate has put it in the law. So it's going to run and it's going to have a bit. You just have to turn run on. And then you're going to read it.
That's this.
Yep, it's going to fire on there. That's why right when Brian's on vacation, I mean, we've been having guest hosts like all that 2 weeks ago now. We had a guest host. I would just read the traffic. I would take it out. Either one. But it will fire on its own. So if nobody's here, it'll just play. Okay, so get ready to put him in program 1 and see some new traffic.
It is time to head back to the Talk 107.3 Traffic Center and take a look at how things are stacking up on the roads on this Friday morning. Normally on a Friday morning, things are slow going to start off with, and during the summertime especially. And this morning, we're meeting that to form. I'm not showing any major delays on I-12 westbound coming in from Livingston Parish. I'm not showing any delays at all on 10 westbound coming in from Ascension Parish. Flipping it over to the other side of the river, nothing going on there. In fact, scrolling all the way back to the Atchafalaya, you're good to go. So, got anybody coming in from Lafayette that should be on time? Anybody coming in from New Orleans should be looking good. 110's looking good in both directions, and there are no surface street accidents to report. That's your look at traffic from the Talk 107.3 Traffic Center. Oof. .625 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. The got one comment back so far on the turkey thing. Deborah says they've reverted back to their original pronunciation. They reverted back to their original name a while back. She said turkey ya with a YAH on the end. So it looks like it's spelled out phonetically, but I think we're gonna have to like Google it and like get an actual audible pronunciation, because I thought my Cajun pronunciation nailed it personally. But the way it's spelled out here looks more like Outcast's hey ya, turkey ya is where that's going.
What were you saying? Turkey.
Turkey. Yeah.
Yes.
Turkey.
Okay.
We could roll with
I
that
didn't know
one.
we've been mispronouncing turkey
Until
all
we've
these
been
years.
formally reprimanded, we can roll with that one. Actually, because the game's already over with, I don't think we have to roll with either, because we'll just move on. It is Election Day tomorrow in Louisiana. Going to get to that in just a second. Do need a moment to remind you about the folks over at Industry Makes. IndustryMakes.org is their website, a unified voice for industry in Louisiana. Now, I don't know what you're thinking, Brian. Industry, I mean, they employ a ton of Louisianans. They are the backbone of Louisiana's economy. Why do they need a unified voice? Well, because they're busy making everything. That's why. And no matter what happens in the world of manufacturing, in the world of industry, in the chemical world, up and down the river, every time there's movement on anything, growth, expansion, movement towards the future, there are protests. And when there are protests, you're going to hear a bunch of great taglines, a bunch of things that sound really catchy and or really scary. Industry Makes is here to collect the information and make sure that which is coming out is actually, number one, accurate, and number two, a way to stand up for those people who are making the products to keep the world going around. Learn more at industrymakes.org. Like I said, tomorrow is Election Day in Louisiana, and statewide, you will have the Senate runoff on your ballot. Closed party primary once again. I don't think we can repeat that enough, because when we had the closed party primary, the first round of it, before we get to the runoff, there were a lot of people that walked away feeling like they were rejected and not able to vote. I don't want to say a lot. That's not fair, because it wasn't a whole lot. But those who were turned away from particular ballots were upset about it. And that could have been any number of reasons why. First and foremost, if you were no party, you had to declare, I want a Republican ballot. And I actually witnessed this firsthand at my polling place. The person who was there in front of me was saying, I'm no party. And they said, well, which ballot do you want? And they said, no party. So they gave them the no party ballot. They went into the booth. They came back out of the booth and said, I did not get to vote for the Senate race. I said, no, you're not in a party. It's not a general election. General election isn't until November. This is a closed party primary. The party gets together and decides who will represent the party in November. If you're not a member of that party, or you didn't declare that you wanted that particular ballot, you weren't part of that process by your own declaration. And then conversely, there were a handful of complaints like, well, I'm registered as a Democrat, but I wanted to vote for Republicans. Again, if you want to have a vote in the club, join the club. Closed party primary coming up. Now we'll have the Senate runoff there. Congresswoman Julia Letlow, State Treasurer John Fleming doing battle. ULM political science professor Pearson Cross spoke with our news partners at Louisiana Radio Network. He says he feels Letlow may have counted her chickens before they hatched. Cut 13.
I think she thought once Cassidy was dispensed with, she would be waltzing to a conclusion, but Fleming has made a race of it.
She actually said the polar opposite of that right here on the show 2 days ago. The Congresswoman said, and I'm paraphrasing here, but she said basically they took no time off. There was the election day, quick victory party that night because they moved on to the next round and got back to work the very next day. I don't know where the counting the chickens thing happened at all. But nonetheless, Fleming was the first candidate to launch a challenge against Bill Cassidy, which we keep forgetting that part. The man ran for treasurer just so he could run for Senate. He was the first one in this race. He declared a long, long time ago that he wanted this gig. So this was, literally like he was in the race for election before Bill Cassidy was in the race for re-election. In fact, Cross says so Fleming goes in first. Letlow was the last one in, but got the president's endorsement. Cross says while that endorsement cleared out the field of challengers, it may end up working against Letlow long run. Cut 14.
James Carville said that he thought it was because it was a change election and that people were looking to change, and somehow they had identified Letlow as the establishment candidate.
Okay. I don't know how you do that, but election day is tomorrow. We'll talk about it on a local level coming up at 6:50. Right now, here's news. For what?
I'm just telling them, like, the first time I produced for you, we didn't get to all the cuts. I'm like, oh my God, but and you're cool with that. Like,
Oh, yeah. It's meant to be commentary with the right. That's the commentary is the main dish. That's the
I know, Jake,
side.
Like, it's okay. I'm like, you didn't get to all those cuts. He goes, no, it's okay.
Am I calling this guy or is he calling me?
Hubbard.
Yeah.
Who is that?
He's a Marine veteran.
Your ABC at the bottom of the hour is always
Oh. Okay, I have his cell as a backup. He's supposed to be calling us, though.
You can leave him where he's at, actually. Hit on for phones. Go ahead and put phones on program one. It's okay because it's not. Brian has to physically hit it. So I'll just have it in program one. I have it on, where I don't have to pull it.
According to Sports Illustrated, twin softball players Madison and Mackenzie Pickens are transferring to LSU. Madison hit .457 with 11 home runs and 74 RBIs for Louisville last season and was the All-ACC first team selection, while Mackenzie hit .271 with 11 home runs and 43 RBIs for the Ole Miss Rebels. Softball set the three-man run. Now a check on your drive from the Talk 107.3 Traffic Center.
I don't feel like we have enough America 250 lined up for next week. I need to beef out the line. No, so programming note: Newt Gingrich is going to be on next week. Former Speaker of the House. He's got a America 250 thing to promote. It's not an America 250 thing, but Lou Diamond Phillips is coming back on the show. Had to talk to him in a minute. He's got a new movie coming out as well. I say new. I think it's been out, but he's just on a promotional tour for it.
I'm trying to think. Like, there's a lot going on. It's really cool. Like, a lot of cities are doing these like pop-up, like tailgate parties.
Yeah, that's him.
Oh, the future here, man. Cool, cool, bye. Hi, Will. Good morning. Talk 107.3. Oh, you keep saying it. Let me call him. Hold on. Turn Brian on. Turn Brian off. No, like, yeah. Because I turned him off because he was giving me a number. I don't want Facebook.
Yeah.
Like if we have somebody high profile, yeah, we don't need that going on Facebook. All right, we're doing him. Go ahead and put Brian in program 1.
Six 636 Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP, mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. Coming up at 7:35, 1 hour from right now, we are going to speak with Central's Police Chief. Roger Corcoran's going to hop on board. Pastor Tony Spell said a lot of complaints were ignored by the Chief's department. He will respond to that. We'll talk a little bit about the process and procedure that backs him up, or should say, backs up his response to the accusations, and talk a little bit about just the general situation right now. Are there increased calls, that sort of thing? We're seeing a whole lot of action based around this. Normally when you have something, kind of blow up like that, I'm staying away from a earthquake reference because we just had a horrific earthquake in Venezuela. But after you have an earthquake, there are aftershocks. Are we seeing aftershocks in Central? We'll talk with Chief Roger Corcoran coming up at 7:35. Right now, though, let's talk about the GI Bill and the potential expansion of the GI Bill. How could expanding the GI Bill possibly be detrimental to those who are serving us? Well, Marine Corps veteran Will Hubbard says there are some things we might need to look out for. He's on with us now. William Hubbard is the Veterans Policy Leader, and he is a Marine veteran himself. Is it Will or William? Which do you prefer?
Either way, I usually go by Will, though. Thanks, Brian.
Okay, let's roll with Will. How are you, man?
I'm doing well. How are you? Thanks for having me on.
No, of course. So when you just read headlines, and admittedly, that's all of us. You can scroll past something that looks at the expansion of the GI Bill and say, "Great, we're serving those who serve us. That's a fantastic thing." But I'm reading through here, and for roughly 250,000 Louisiana veterans who have served our nation proudly, this might have some detrimental effects. Walk us through what's actually on the table.
Yeah, it's a great question, and it's a really hot topic right now. There is a highly controversial bill being considered in Congress at the moment that would do a lot of good things. This bill actually has a lot of different components that many veterans advocates have pushed for many years, some over a decade. Unfortunately, the way that the bill is structured, there's a very controversial element, which is how it's paid for. So there's a lot of heartburn over that right now. And groups like the Veterans of Foreign Wars and Disabled American Veterans, as well as Iraq and Afghanistan Veterans of America, have been extremely outspoken in their opposition.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not necessarily what we're focused on. There's two very overlooked provisions that we're concerned about that would have a detrimental impact on the GI Bill. And, we're just very concerned about those at this point.
Walk me through the details. What are your concerns?
Well, the first issue is a small section, 201B. So Section 201B basically sets up the opportunity for online trades training. Now, trades training, as we all know, is an important part of our economy. The trades are incredibly necessary for our country to continue to improve. Unfortunately, the way it's structured, it would make it fully online. And this is the part we have concern with. For example, imagine doing welding as an online program. I don't need to explain why the number of reasons that's a bad idea.
Right?
And anybody who's been in the trades understands that's a hands-on experience. And so that's a real issue that we have. Now, the proponents of that section have said they're looking to do it for hybrid training. But Brian, hybrid training is already allowed under the current law. And so when you peel back the onion, really what they're going after is online unaccredited programs, which is really just a bad idea.
So can I hop in here real quick, Will? Because I want to ask if this is a part of the equation. When you're talking about those who have, trained in the military, learned things in the military, there are a lot of applicable skills that have been learned along the way. Does this open the door for certification without further delaying things by them going to a trade school to learn something they already know?
No, unfortunately not. I mean,
Okay.
there are several pathways for that. But the reality is, without any sort of industry recognized credential, getting a job is next to impossible. So you'd be spending your time potentially trying to learn things, but really there's no application for it moving on. So it's just a waste of time.
Hey, I want to go back to the top real quick. I had somebody ask me, what's the bill and who's the author?
Yep. So it's called the Take Care of America's Veterans Act. And it's being championed in the House of Representatives by the chairman, Mike Boss from Southern Illinois. And then in the Senate, the chair is also championing that. He's from Kansas, Senator Jerry Moran.
Okay. All right, back to it. There were other concerns, not just online welding, but other concerns.
Yeah, the second piece is on a potential increase in the housing allowance for folks who are going to school fully online. Now, a lot of people, particularly past the pandemic, have found that online learning provides a lot of flexibility, and there's certainly value to that. Unfortunately, for those who are fully online, we found that there are quite a few very, very poor programs out there who've taken advantage of this increased interest in online learning. And what they'd like to do is increase the housing allowance for those who are fully online, which presently sits at 50% the national average of the housing allowance. Unfortunately, the way that the text is structured, they would just simply move to 100% the national average. But keep in mind, that means half of the people who are using it get too much money, half of the people get too little.
Yeah.
And frankly, that's not a real solution. So there's more sophisticated ways to actually solve the problem. And the text that they're using right now is not it.
Oh man, because that's one of those ones. Like I said, when you read the headline or if you skim the bill, it sounds good on the front. That does sound good on the front end. But as soon as you said it like that, I'm like, that totally makes sense.
Yep.
There's one other part that I took notice of along the way, and I think this is might be leading to something bigger. There are a number of veterans who could have already been on the path towards further education and training, and just connected with the wrong school and can end up getting screwed over it.
Yeah, these are people who we hear from on a daily basis. Everybody in the military knows and is told, get an education, get a degree. That's the path forward to the American dream. And, I firmly believe that. But the problem is not all schools are made equal. And a lot of schools know that the GI Bill is a big pot of cash, and they simply want to tap into that. And so they go after veterans and their family members, even survivors of fallen service members, to just get their GI Bill dollars. And so we're very concerned about these folks. And in situations where someone decides, you know what, this degree is not for me, or maybe it's not even a real program, and they get out, they move on. If they want to get those GI Bill resources and those GI Bill dollars back, there is no way to do that right now. Now, this is in contrast with average individuals who may use U.S. Department of Education money, and they can get their loans wiped. They can get their grants restored. If you're a veteran or somebody using the GI Bill, you have no chance to do that.
Got just 2.5 minutes left with Will Hubbard talking about the possible expansion or changes to the GI Bill. First of all, let's talk about numbers here. Here in Louisiana, as I understand it, we have just shy of 250,000 veterans. Are you able to determine how many of those veterans would be affected by this, or how many are already past that part?
The reality is tracking these folks is very difficult based on the number of stop outs, and it's all self-reported at the end of the day because it's difficult to discern if somebody simply found a job and decided not to pursue the degree, or if they actually were defrauded. So it really comes down to people reaching out and raising their hand and telling us about it, which is why, we continue to work with them and encourage them to speak up, because as long as people are not speaking up, then this stuff is going to continue to happen. But if we can get the Veterans Benefits Restoration Act done, that's something that we think will really have a major impact.
I said two more. Now I mean two more with Will Hubbard. How much room or timeline wise is, as we go to the Schoolhouse Rocks and the bills on Capitol Hill, how much time in the process do we have to make potential changes to this to correct some of the minutia that needs to be maneuvered around?
It's really hard to say because the leadership on the committees have said, this is the bill, this is what we're doing, and we're moving to a vote. Now, that said, if there's no viable path forward, that may force them back to the negotiation table to rework some things. And that's our hope. Our hope is that this ultimately is seen as a draft and can be worked on, including dropping those two sections that I mentioned, and then perhaps adding the fraud restoration bill into that.
Yeah.
But, they're trying to move fast. I mean, there's only so many days left on the legislative calendar, and so they really are on the clock.
Last one for you, and I know these are the things you want to see changed, but if none of those get changed and the Take Care of America's Veterans Act moves forward, do we not want to throw the baby out with the bathwater? You started off by saying there's a lot of good in this thing. So overall, are we looking to tweak or are we looking to dump?
Well, I think ultimately it's going to be an opposition vote. The members that I've spoken to on Capitol Hill have said, both sides too, it's not just a partisan issue. They've said they're very concerned about some of the elements in there. And frankly, a lot of the stuff that is good is not good enough. Some of the versions that were used for some of these elements that people do like are still not exactly what they want. So it'd be a partial solution plus a lot of negative stuff. I mean, that's hard to vote for.
He is Will Hubbard, the Vice President for Veterans and Military Policy with Veterans Education Success. I appreciate a couple minutes this morning.
Hey, thanks a lot, Brian. Take care.
Thank you. Absolutely. We got a quick break. Come back. We're talking about the library millage with Mary Stein next. I ran heavy by a couple seconds. Sorry about that. Hopefully traffic's short because ain't nothing going on. Damn it. It's M-E, not M-O, moron. Oh, I'm looking to set up the Director of Veterans Affairs for the state of Louisiana for next week. Follow up on that interview and talk America 250 as well. So I hadn't talked to Charlton since Washington Mardi Gras. Good dude, too.
Putting on the events that's happening downtown with Dudesy, Wayne Tubes, like that what on the levee.
No clue.
They're just doing their thing and then they're doing theirs. I don't know who's putting that on.
It's WBRZ every year, isn't it?
No, WBRZ does the fireworks on the levee, but I think who's putting on the concert, the levee party.
I haven't heard anything about the concert.
Really?
Would love to hear about the concert.
Excuse me. I know when I saw they added all these. The only one that's notable that I recognize is Dupsy and Wayne too.
I haven't seen Rockin' Doopsie in a decade.
He's wonderful.
I know.
Scott and I, because Scott did a charity songwriting thing or whatever, and he met Dupsy as cucumber. We have beers together, but we went out to eat. I went to a house party with him. I'm like, full of shit. Like,
So I saw Wayne Toops a couple months ago over at a party for the Louisiana Travel Association. They do a legislative reception at the beginning of the session, and they bring him out to play, and it is just one of the most glorious nights of the calendar year. It's fantastic.
He's up there sweating.
What he's sweating, and like where they're at, they're over at long like on the other side of the Capitol Lakes. So the backdrop is the state capitol in the sunset. It's fucking gorgeous. But yeah, Chris knows how to throw a party. Chris Landry from LTA knows how to throw a party. Actually, you know what? That's probably Megan throwing the party. So I shouldn't give credit to Chris there. That's Megan's job. Oh,
I'm putting you back on. Like, he was honest about. I'm like, damn, because he was at Texas Club and I was bringing him out. And I said, do you remember me? And he's like 10 something. I said, yeah. I said, it's been a while since I've been at KSB, but
well.
he goes, he's still in radio. I'm like, yeah, he's gonna retire in radio.
Keep meaning to text my wife, and I keep forgetting. Good morning. And good morning, Christy. I don't even know if she's watching yet. I wouldn't be. I'd be sleeping.
Now, her hours for school being out, they're kind of flexible.
Yeah, well, Fridays they have off. So, yeah. It's definitely a lighter load, but there's, parents don't understand how much has to go on behind the scenes to get a school running, you know? 652 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. We've got an election coming up tomorrow. There will be 3 different millages on your ballot. This is an important thing to remember. All 3 are renewals. You are not voting for new taxes tomorrow. One of those is for the library. We've got Mary Stein on the hotline right now to talk about it. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Brian. I'm great.
Let me on the front end apologize. I was supposed to get you on earlier in the week. I don't know if you've been following the headlines, but a couple of things have gone on in town that kind of derailed all that.
That's right. Well,
So-
you got to go to the news leads. Yeah.
Well, right. So aside from a large beatdown, this conversation would have been happening a couple days ago. But we're in under the wire. The polls don't open until tomorrow morning. So let's get into it. Tell us how much the millage is for. And just remind us of the basics, really. It's a 10-year renewal, and let's get back to basics on this.
Yes, because it's clean, simple, straightforward. It's a no mess, no muss renewal. As you said, we're supposed to call it a continuation because the old millage died, basically. It expired in December. So this continues the same plan that we've had since 1986. And in fact, the previous 3 millages were at 11.1 mils. This one, we've rolled back the number to 9.5, so it is lower.
Mm-hmm.
And it includes factoring in 2 rollbacks because that's the way we roll. So it's a lower rate. It continues what we started in 1986. The average bill for a homeowner is the cost of 4 or 5 books, and the funds stay dedicated. This is the people's plan. This is the way the people demanded that we write the plan, and we are being responsive to that. It restores the book and database budget. It restores the pay-as-you-go plan.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the basis of everything, Brian. That is what people don't understand about the library. We're a caste. We're the Dave Ramsey of government. So we don't spend it until we've already saved it. And that entire capital improvement plan since 1986 has been accomplished without borrowing or bonding. And somebody complained about that that philosophy a few weeks ago.
Mhm.
And I want to tell you, the FAQs have grown from 4 pages to 11 now because people ask questions at our little meetings and around and about.
Yeah.
So this gentleman asked the question. He said, well, how much money did you save? So we asked finance. If we had bonded instead of saved and then paid the last 20 years, which includes Greenwell Springs after the flood, the new main library, Jones Creek, Bluebonnet phase 1 and 2, and other projects, we would have had to have paid $88 million in interest. And that's interest probably to an out-of-state bank. So we didn't do that.
Mhm.
We saved the taxpayers $88 million by living within our means on a cash basis, which means the money that we save stays in fund balance until we're prepared to draw it down. And that has been the crux of all the misunderstandings that we've had for the last year and a half. People think that's a surplus. It is not, Brian. That's next year's money and then capital improvement for the next 10 years or 20 years planning.
Well,
So,
it is part of the misunderstanding for sure, but that interest only comes up when you're borrowing. I think that's where the folks get, you say we pay everything cash, and a lot of folks are like, wow, must be nice, right? But it is important to have that number behind you. It is important to be able to say tangibly, this is a hard number that we have saved the taxpayers.
yes, and I'm grateful for that person who was kind of angry that was our philosophy because we had never asked for that number before.
Right.
We were just like, well, of course it's better to live within your means and not borrow. But now I have a tangible number from finance, so I love that. Now, people are very confused, Brian. They think they already had this election. They think the election was in May. They think they can't vote if they live in a particular city. I want to tell every voting person in East Baton Rouge Parish, we don't care what city you live in, if you're unincorporated, this is a parish-wide millage because it is a parish-wide library system.
Mhm.
So that is something that just as late as yesterday, somebody called and said, well, I didn't think I could vote because I live in Zachary. And it's kind of course you can vote. It's your library system. So tell them, Brian, tell them.
Well, that's what you're here to do exactly right now. We got Mary Stein from the East Baton Rouge Parish Library. The millage is on tomorrow's ballot. Mary, I can tell you that the biggest opposition I've heard so far is the thrown out number that was on the Thrive EBR last fall. Why is this number higher than that number?
So this number is higher with the Thrive compromise. Let me stress the word compromise.
Yes.
It was a compromise. In fact, last year in preparation for it, we went ahead and already froze 72 positions. That's a considerable portion of our employees because we're open 1,013 hours per week. That's a lot of bodies at 15 locations plus the bookmobile staff.
Mhm.
So we went ahead and froze 72 positions. We went ahead and cut the book budget. We cut database budget. We went ahead and put a stop on the next couple of capital improvement plans. We were about ready to do a scope of work for the Central Branch Library renovation and Zachary Branch.
Mhm.
And we said, okay, you got to hold the presses there. So all those things have already been paused. At 8.3, those things were going to start up again, but at a reduced scale. So by picking the 9.5 millage, we restore the fullness of the capital improvement plan. So instead of a kind of a trimmed down version for the Central Branch Library in Zachary and Delmont and Bluebonnet Phase 3, and even the main library in Carver need work. It's hard to believe, Brian, but the main library is not new anymore. And she's
What,
showing
Goodwood?
her age. Yes.
No, it's
yes,
not
it
new, but it's immaculate.
Well, it's because we don't believe in deferred maintenance, and that's why we want to protect the public's investment. And that is one of the things by putting money into capital outlay for major improvements and upgrades and repairs all along the way as fast as we can. Because, of course, government, there's checks and balances. It may take a little while to get that special light bulb, but eventually we're going to get it.
The library is one of 3 millages on the ballot tomorrow. She is Mary Stein. I appreciate you getting in under the wire and the late connection. Thank you so much. Absolutely.
Okay.
Sorry, we got a hard break coming up. She is Mary Stein, and the library millage is on your ballot tomorrow. And yes, That is a parish-wide vote, and no, it doesn't matter which ballot you have. It's Heads Up 7 o'clock. Hour 2 is coming your way next. Oh. Right.
And like obviously there's too much to fix all at once. It's gonna be like that for a while.
It's gonna feel like a scene in a movie where someone's walking on ice, and you see the crack in the ice, and you take a step.
Like it's not a pile of like gravel, but
Yeah.
what do you go up and
Meanwhile,
sit?
like half the airport collapsed in Caracas.
In Venezuela?
Yeah. Like rubble, like dust.
Yeah, it's like buildings down, and it's like you gotta be
Probably
grateful that your
cell
apartment's not
services
gravel,
down.
but like you're gonna go up the stairwell and stuff. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna ride the elevator. It'd be so scary.
I would almost guess cell towers are down and everything. Like it looks like a war zone.
Yeah.
Didn't they just get an earthquake too? Like a few months ago?
I don't remember.
It was an earthquake. It was just in the news. We smashed their car.
Yeah. So it's 7:03.
So there.
ABC
Get
at
that going, and then I'll get the rejoin. No, then I'll get that. Okay, right.
no rejoin here. It'll be 7 a.m. open.
Right. That just replaces the rejoin.
So we have ABC at the top of the hour, ABC at the bottom of the hour. ABC at the top always has a red. ABC at the bottom is really quick, random route.
So this means I'll do the hour 2 on key. Does your yellow right here mean I will talk for 6 minutes before we do top stories and stuff, or that's just kind of like
It's kind of an overall general. He'll typically banner for saying a minute if we have really meaty material, like 2 minutes with pastor spell stuff, and then he's like, all right, we got to get a top stories.
Oh yeah, from the time I come in, I try to get the top stories in under 90 seconds.
That was what I was telling you with your 7 a.m. and your 8 a.m. top of the hour. If your hand's not on that button, something else will fire into it. So you just gotta like, and that's when I told you, like, if they start and they're reading something, I'll let them finish their sentence and then I get out. You don't have to hit program one yet, but you're ready to hit it because your opener is always like
Oh man, this one? Yeah, there's hour 2 is just this. Yeah, it's we've never built something out for hour 2. It's kind of my fault, but 7:05. Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP, mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. Hour 2 coming your way right now. Did Mary Stein really invoke the name of Dave Ramsey in that last segment? Did we hear that? That happened. Oh, man. How's the library doing? Better than they deserve. So good. Dave Ramsey, 1 to 4 right here on Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP. Yes, the library is on your ballot. Tomorrow, the millage, I should say, as is Breck, who visits with us every Monday, as is the Council on Aging, who we had on, oh man, was it like 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago? Talk about some of the programs that they run. But tomorrow is election day, so set the table for tomorrow night. We're not going to be doing a full-on radio show tomorrow night. I will, however, be doing updates on Talk 107.3's Facebook page. If we were to do a full radio show, that would be a quick one. It's not a full ballot tomorrow. So rather than just vamping and yapping to fill time, we will move it over to social media where we can give you the information that's absolutely needed and a little bit of breakdown and analysis as well. It'll be on Talk 107.3's Facebook page. That's tomorrow night. Coming up this hour, we got Insurance Commissioner Tim Temple in about 8 minutes. We've got Central's Police Chief Roger Corcoran going to come on and talk about the Tony Spell saga at 7:35. Right now, top stories and trending. Judge Gail Horn-Ray, whose son is a convicted serial rapist, will still preside over the trial of Kason Carver, 22 years old, a man who's accused of raping Madison Brooks. This despite the state's second request for her recusal in the case. A teenager was found shot to death in the South Downs neighborhood early Thursday morning. Sources said a 15-year-old boy's body was found in the middle of Poplar Street near Lee Drive around 2 a.m. People in the area assumed the person had been hit by a car, but turns out that person was, in fact, shot and killed. Tomorrow is Election Day, as I said on the way in, along with the closed party runoffs for Senate here in Baton Rouge. As I said at the beginning, I kind of spoiled my own top stories right there. We've got millage renewals for Breck, millage renewal for the Council on Aging, and, of course, that millage renewal for the library as well. Take you out to Tangipahoa Parish as I continue to scroll down. A man was hospitalized after being shot multiple times in Roseland on Wednesday. This is, we don't have a whole lot of details on this, but a man arrived in an emergency room with multiple gunshot wounds on Wednesday afternoon. Tangipahoa Parish Sheriff's Office is working to identify who shot him. The 21-year-old man was in critical but stable condition on Thursday. Deputies said the shooting happened along Sawdust Lane. Investigators believe the man met up with a group of people and, quote, at some point, shots were fired. At some point, shots were fired? You figured that out on your own? Did the bullet holes in the guy not give that away? What are we on, number one? Sorry, I lost my train of thought. Sean Atkinson, 62 years old, was arrested in Mobile, Alabama after evidence from a crime scene of a murder that was committed in 1987 was submitted for DNA analysis. DNA results identified Atkinson as a suspect. Atkinson is awaiting extradition back to Baton Rouge. What you got?
Well, yesterday morning, if you remember, at about this time, we were reporting several dozen dead from the earthquakes in Venezuela. We were expecting that number would rise, and it certainly has. At about the 6 o'clock hour, we checked in with ABC. That number was up to 265, with thousands more injured. It is expected only to climb.
And they're going through actual rubble right now. It's some of the visuals of this scene are just, they're heartbreaking to see. And in very populated areas, as I understand it, the Caracas airport, like half the Caracas airport just crumbled to the ground. That's insane. And like you said, you get 265 dead, thousands injured. The good news about the thousands injured is, they're just injured. It's all the ones they're still looking for. That is a complete unknown. And as time ticks away, so does opportunity. Before they switch from, inevitably, they'll eventually switch from a rescue mission to a recovery mission. And the numbers will just continue to rise.
Thoughts and prayers with people
Absolutely.
of Venezuela in this time. Moving across the globe in Iran, or I should say in the waters outside of Iran, the Iranian military struck a vessel in the Strait of Hormuz yesterday on Thursday, forcing a pause on evacuations of some stranded seafarers and demonstrating their continued ability to restrict this critical waterway, despite reaching an agreement with the United States.
My wife thinks Hormuz should be a great brand of tequila. That just sounds like a brand of tequila. I think she's so right.
Yep.
I just, tonight we want to make a couple ranch waters with Hormuz tequila. Go with the Blanco. Make a little sweetness with the Reposado.
I agree.
Drink
I agree.
Hormuz.
What is it? Friday? Throws up Thirsty Thursday. Now it's time for Friday.
Well, yeah.
Throw back some straight up Hormuz.
You throw back some Hormuz
You
tequila.
can drink it straight.
Yep, it's straight. Hormuz straight. As opposed to
Good
the
one,
straight up
Will.
Hormuz. Awesome. What else you got?
Coming back stateside, we got a new report outside of the city of San Antonio in the countryside to the west of the city. There's a missing individual. We have the description. Age 3 years old, approximately 11 feet tall, and weighing in around a half a ton, covered in orange spots. I'm talking about Gracie the giraffe, escaped from her enclosure at an exotic animal breeding ranch about a week ago. If you can
This
believe
is
that.
crazy.
No,
You've
not
had-
found yet.
Get ready for the dad joke. It's a giraffe on the lamb. Sorry, that was horrible.
I don't get that.
how-
Maybe I just flew. I know it's totally dad, but it flew straight over me.
Okay, well, because it's 11 feet tall. How do you lose a giraffe?
That's what I want to know.
So stepped over its enclosure. So for
Yes.
those that don't know, Bree Lynn used to work at the Baton Rouge Zoo.
Yes.
So she is our resident giraffologist. I just made that word up.
I love it.
When you have a zoo enclosure, I would imagine with giraffes, you want to keep it higher than their waistline, right?
Yes, yeah. So I would say at the zoo, Baton Rouge Zoo, it came up to kind of right at the top of their legs.
Uh-huh.
And we have another fence outside of that. So you have to work for it to get out. So
Right.
I almost wonder if this particular enclosure, or I'm going to say habitat, we don't like calling it enclosures, was lower than normal.
This isn't at a zoo, though. This isn't at someplace professional.
Yes.
Like, imagine, if you will, don't imagine the Baton Rouge Zoo. Don't imagine the Audubon
Yeah.
Zoo. Imagine
Just
the
somebody's
Tiger
house.
King. Okay? Yeah. We need to go full on Joe Exotic right now. Which, by the way, we're overdue to get him back, aren't we?
Oh, we had Joe Exotic on that?
No, not on the air. I mean, just
Oh.
in the populace and the zeitgeist.
Yes,
We need a little
yes.
bit of the Tiger King coming back around again. Maybe
I
has
agree.
anybody found Carol Baskin's husband? I mean, like,
Yet. I know.
so anyway, don't think of a professional
Yeah.
zoo. Think of someone's backyard. And Gracie, the giraffe, is stepping over.
Come to find out, you asked me a question last hour, Brian.
Yes,
How far? 12 miles a day.
12 miles a day.
Foraging for food, and they can eat up to 75 pounds of food a day.
Mhm.
And so they're looking. for
So
food.
here's where I'm going with this. Is if Gracie was on the run, right?
Mhm.
Gracie's like, I'm getting the hell out of San Antonio. I'm moving across to wherever I need to go to get away. So how far could Gracie get from then till now? So Gracie is, let's see, 12 times 7 is what? We're gonna do this all in real
Oh
time.
Lord! So if she truly wanted to, I see where Brian's going with this.
So could
Jeez.
Gracie get to Houston? Is what I want to know.
Could you imagine the freeway?
Well, here's
I
the
mean,
other part of
somebody
this.
had to have spotted her. By
Here's
now.
the part of spotted her. See, now she's with the puns. Here's where I'm going with this. This is Texas.
Yeah.
Do we need to worry about Gracie being hunted?
No.
Someone's out
I
looking
didn't
for,
even think about
someone's out doing a
that.
little deer hunting one
Yeah.
weekend, like, son of a, and then just pops one off on Gracie.
I know.
And then how tall do your ceilings have to be to mount a giraffe?
For real.
That's
So not the giraffe. And then how do you even transport a giraffe?
I
You
don't know.
Because
I don't
you
know.
can't throw her in the
Can
back
you
of a truck.
imagine the look on the face of the taxidermist when Bucko brings this in? Says, "Look what I got."
Neck and all. Neck.
That's right. How far
hoof.
down the neck do you go?
Yeah, do you cut like halfway?
I don't know.
This is morbid. I hope the Baton Rouge Zoo ain't listening.
Let's find Gracie and get Gracie back where Gracie belongs.
Please.
In San Antonio. We are up at 7:15 to talk. Wow, we ran long right there. We've got Insurance Commissioner Tim Temple up next. How are you, sir?
Good morning.
Sorry for that nonsense.
No problem.
Right? Oh, no. I meant putting up with the BS going on here.
Good morning.
Commissioner.
How are y'all?
Good.
Give me one quick second.
I heard like everybody with the all TV or radio personalities had the same holiday break. I think you and New and Norman were out the same week.
Oh, what was it?
Yeah, but I was doing his show last week and you were out.
So, end of last year, I took a look at my employment stats. I burned 4 weeks of vacation. I was able to roll 2 over this year, which doesn't. I can't take this stuff out with good things roll over. Well, last week was a week where daughters from summer basketball, and she's taking summer school classes at SJ to get ahead. She's knocking out her PE now. And son's got cross country, basketball, and Lego camp.
I don't mind.
So between all the things, I'm like, you know what?
I just didn't.
I'm just taking days off.
I just didn't think enough about getting from one to the
Yeah. So it wasn't really a vacation. I was just an Uber for a week. But well, and because I had the availability and put that out to the other parents, I'm like, hey, I'm already bringing Abby. Can we bring her? She's going to be a friend. So, it was, I gotta tell you, something as a dad, there's a whole lot of giggling coming from the backseat.
So Mike 4, Mike
So
3,
it's a
Mike
good
2.
No, it's turned into,
But if you're
I'm doing all that,
they
but
always
like,
say,
picking up James from
Fair
Lego
Room and
camp,
Mike up.
and then
Brian
bringing him and his little
Mike
friends,
2,
like dropping
is
them
it
off,
yes,
like I'm
yeah.
doing the whole carpool thing. And just hear them cutting up in the back seat, it's something I love that kind of shit. So,
It'll take him a minute. 'Cause I think you're going to the restaurant. He's gonna worry about it. How are you this morning?
I'm doing well. Doing well. Y'all had a busy day so far?
Oh, yeah. Well, we've been slammed this week because we're living in the coverage of Pastor's Bell. Oh, my God. In all things, that was. Brian's over here. He's a full-blown content creator now.
Yeah.
Like, he did it like a follow-up video, blew up.
Yeah, blew up really good. Topics.
Hurricane
That's Gibbons.
Arthur, tropical storm Arthur. We've got a lot of people flood damage in areas that probably didn't think that they would.
Yeah.
Obviously hurricane season, and I think maybe just go into that. We're in an super El Nino year, and we got to address that because people think, oh, that means we're in good shape.
Yeah. Okay.
No.
7:18, Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP. Mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. We are already a couple minutes behind and have our insurance commissioner in studio who put up with that foolishness in the last segment. Tim Temple, how are you, sir?
I'm doing well for a Friday. Thank you.
So, you know what? Let's start off with this. And I apologize in advance. Is there such a thing as exotic animal insurance?
And good question. There is pet insurance, but I don't know about exotic animal insurance.
I'm just saying,
look,
if you lose a giraffe, I mean, does that?
Look, the insurance industry will insure anything for the right amount of premium.
Yeah. Like you needed more to get to work on, and you got to find out how we compare to Texas when it comes to giraffe insurance. Insurance Commissioner Tim Temple's in with us. There's a lot of serious topics to cover right now. Not the least of which is we saw a tropical storm last week, and unique. I would call this one unique because number one, it never evolved to the strength of a hurricane. Number two, it dumped a ton of water further inland than it did closer to the coast. And number three, there are 6 parishes declaring a state of emergency that aren't exactly contiguous.
Yep.
So we saw a bunch of different things with this storm that we don't normally see from your office's standpoint, what were some of the the big ticket items?
Yeah, well, look, Brian, let's dive into all that. But before we do that, I because this leads up to that, one thing that I've been, reminding people as I go out and talk, and whether it's, TV or radio, or I'm doing a town hall later this afternoon, we're in, because I hear a lot of comments about, we're in this super El Nino period.
Yeah.
Weather pattern, which means, drier conditions, more wildfires in parts of the country, wetter conditions in other parts of the country. And then for us, more wind shear, which has the opportunity to reduce storms out in the Atlantic.
Mm-hmm.
The number of forecast storms is going to be lower. But I want to keep reminding everybody, it only takes one event, right? It doesn't say
everybody in Avoyelles Parish now understands
exactly.
that, right?
It doesn't mean we're not going to have hurricanes. It means that there may be a reduced probability of the number of storms that may happen. And the other thing too, I want to remind people, it also means that if a storm forms in the Gulf,
mm-hmm.
it's going to have a shorter duration, shorter warning period.
Right.
We've seen with warmer temperatures, they what they call it, rapid intensification.
Yep.
They spin up faster, they're stronger, and so it's a shorter nose period. So I'm saying this all to remind people, stay vigilant.
Well,
let's don't rest on our, and say, oh, well, we're in a super El Nino, I don't have to worry about it. Always worry about it.
No, 100%. And you bring up a point about the storms. Every year for the last half dozen years or so, we've seen a storm form whether they hit us or not. We've seen one form in the Gulf. And I might be wrong about this, but the cutoff time to get insurance is if one enters the Gulf.
That's right. Yeah, when you've got a system, and I'll give you the exact definition so that viewers or your listeners we'll get that information. But yeah, when a storm is an active storm in the Gulf, you can't bind coverage,
right?
And so just like flood insurance, and we can get into that too. But this tropical storm author, I think that was a good example of something. It is a named storm.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a lot of people that are saying, well, wait, I have now that they're aware of their named storm deductible.
Right.
Listen, we've had named storm deductibles for 30 years,
mm-hmm.
30 plus years. So this is not something new. There are people upset that, named storm deductible applies to it, but that's how this has worked for decades. This is not anything new. I know it's not good news, but it's not anything new.
Right.
Avoyelles Parish, and I know there's been a lot of coverage on that particular parish because of just the incredible amount of rain that they received over a very short period of time, 24 hours. Not a lot of NFIP flood policies in force. About 5% of all the homes in that area, as best we can tell, had flood insurance. So not a big number, especially when you consider, and you said that's inland. When you get to our coastal parishes, we've got some parishes that have 80% of homes have flood policies in force.
Mm-hmm.
5% in Avoyelles Parish. So there's not going to be a lot of flood insurance for those homes.
Yeah.
Which means it's going to be more of either a federal, state, or local program to help people recover, which is very important for people to. I know there's been a lot of push. If you receive damage and you didn't have insurance for it, to go to damage.la.gov and document that. That helps the state of Louisiana calculate everything it can to see if we qualify
mm-hmm.
for assistance. So it's very important, if you receive damage and you didn't have insurance coverage for it, to go to damage.la.gov and report it.
So damage.la.gov to report it. I mean, there is recourse to some level, or are you just stuck?
Look, and that's just it. I mean, if the federal government does not come in and help,
mm-hmm.
then it's going to be state or local dollars.
Yeah.
And we know what kind of budgetary process, issues we're having right now with finances. So we got to do everything we can to help document that. But again, it highlights this was it was a tropical storm, yet
right.
it caused immense damage. And if your house flooded, or if your car flooded, or if your property received damage as one of the storms, tornado that spun up, or maybe a tree fell on your home, it doesn't matter that it was a tropical storm. It's a catastrophe to you. And that's why, we always talk about be insurance ready, buy insurance. I know it's expensive. We've been working on that, but that's what insurance is there for, to help you financially when you receive damage.
So two separate problems here is Avoyelles Parish, that's flood. So you need flood insurance. The named storm didn't matter there. It was the amount of the water coming up, not down. However, Houma had 4 tornadoes.
Yep.
That does fall under the named storm deductible, does it not?
It does fall under the named storm deductible. And the way the system works, and Louisiana is not unique in this. This is how the industry works. It's 72 hours after the storm is downgraded. So after it becomes, from a named storm tropical storm to a tropical depression, still any damage 72 hours after that falls under that, named storm deductible. Again, Louisiana's not unique. This is not new. It's just not good news to a lot of people. We're going to start reminding people this hurricane season, when something spins up, we're going to start telling them, remember, you have a named storm deductible. You have a hurricane deductible. Go and calculate it. And again, that's part of that whole be insurance ready.
I think I've asked you this question before. Insurance Commissioner Tim Temple's in with us. I think I've asked you this question before, and I'm not sure if I remember the answer or not. But when a storm is named, does the named storm deductible apply even after it's downgraded?
72 hours after.
Okay, that's what you were. That was what you were explaining right there.
Correct.
Okay, so same question. All right. Because with Arthur, as it's made its way to the Northeast, there was a situation in the Atlantic to where it could have formed back into another storm again.
Correct.
Which would have brought us Arthur 2, and we all know that was Dudley Moore's worst work.
No comment.
Okay, fine. Let's move forward with the rest of hurricane season with Arthur in the rearview mirror. I'm sure there's a lot of folks that believe, well, I got my hit, I'm done.
That's the other thing too, with the named storm deductible. If you file a claim under that and you had the damage up to whatever your deductible was, let's say it's $5,000, that the insurance industry can only apply the named storm deductible once a year, once a 12-month period. So if there's a future event, let's hope there's not, but if there is another event, then your policy wouldn't be subject to that named storm deductible amount.
Okay.
See, so then it would be first dollar for the next event. So if you received up to $5,000 of damage, let's say from hurricane or tropical storm Arthur, and then there's a future event, hurricane, whatever it is, where there's a named storm deductible, you don't have that named storm deductible apply to your loss.
So when, I'm going to get it wrong because I'm doing off memory, Bertha should be next.
Okay.
So if Bertha rolls through Homa, or one of the places where the named storm, St. Tammany Parish got hit with that as well, South Lafourche and Terrebonne. So if Bertha rolls through, then you would be back to a normal
there's still
pricing, I guess.
Well, there's still a named storm deductible, but again, you've already.
No, that's what I'm saying. Is if you've already filed the claim, if you've already gone there. I mean, God forbid you have to do it on back to back, but we've seen it here in Louisiana.
Yes.
I mean, was it 2020, 2020? Yes, 2020, where we ran out of letters, or we ran out of names and then ran out of letters.
Yeah.
So, moving forward with the rest of the hurricane season now, while we might be thinking, take your foot off the gas because of El Nino, are the insurance companies a little bit more amenable to how do I put this the right way? When we have a lesser hurricane season, how does that affect our rates at all? Because we've had a few seasons in a row now where it's been light.
Yeah, look, they have already priced in. Insurance companies doing business today, they have already priced and bought their reinsurance for this year.
Okay. Right.
You will have some that, through June. That's typically January 1st and July 1st are the big renewal dates. But all that pricing has been locked in.
Okay.
People have bought their reinsurance. They know what their price is going to be for the next 12-month period. So, no, that's not going to change it.
Sure.
And the losses right now, again, while, they're unimaginable if your property was damaged, Tropical Storm Arthur was not a big event in the reinsurance world, globally speaking.
Are we still too soon to know numbers on claims and everything? I'm sure it's way too early.
We are. Look, and I've last week, earlier this week, I was fielding phone calls from people saying that they've already been denied, coverage. And look, I don't know that anybody has filed a claim and had an adjuster come out to their home.
Right.
It's been too short a period. So I think some of that might be urban myth, but I encourage people, if that has happened to them, call my office and tell me, and I haven't had anybody call and say that has happened and give us the information to back it up. So, but listen, if you file a claim, you're denied, if you don't like the answer you get, call the Department of Insurance. We can help walk you through it. We will get an answer for you. Sometimes you may not like the answer, but we will get you an accurate answer on whether your claim is covered or not, if the insurance company is doing what they're supposed to, or if they're not. We are a resource to everybody. And call us 800-259-5300. We can assist.
That's something we don't talk about enough, honestly, is that your office does dedicate a lot of resources to making sure that we are all getting the coverage we pay for.
Look, and we have a very well-staffed, incredibly well-trained and very good department that handles customer complaints,
Mhm.
customer services. We get phone calls every day. I wish I could tell you the number off the top of my head. I don't, but it's thousands and thousands of phone calls that we get over a year where people just call and say, hey, I don't understand this,
Yeah.
or this is what's going on. Can you help me understand my policy and the language? And we do that every single day. And the men and women that work in that group with me, they are the best of the best. And they really enjoy the work that they do, helping their fellow citizens understand how insurance works.
And there's strength in numbers. And you never know if what's happening to you might be happening to some other folks as well. And well, when you could put together a couple of complaints, you could find some parallels here and might be on the case.
And we track that, and we look and see if you start to see a trend on something. And when we do, we jump on it.
He's Insurance Commissioner Tim Temple. We always appreciate the update, sir.
Thank you. Have a safe weekend.
You do the same. We are coming up. We're right at 7:30. It's time for ABC News. We'll take you to Central and speak with Police Chief Roger Corcoran next. Thank you.
Appreciate you always.
My pleasure. Paul Arrigo, I don't know if you know him. He used to head up Visit Baton Rouge.
Oh, yeah.
He texted during the segment when I asked about giraffe insurance. He said insurance companies won't stick their neck out.
Oh, Lord.
Gotta love it. Gotta love it.
Does he have the goatee?
And the ponytail. Yeah. Yeah. He's definitely enjoying retirement.
Yeah. All right. Thank you all so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate everybody.
Bye.
Is the camera frozen? Okay. Let me restart Facebook then. I kind of. Is it wrong that I want to save those Pearson cross cuts for Monday, just so I can go back and say, here's what. Like, yeah, and it's gotten progressively worse.
For the Senate, it's just foul, like very vocal, very.
You ever seen Talladega Nights? Okay, you know at the end with all the outtakes where Ricky Bobby's doing all the endorsements, and it's like, if you don't drink Bud Light, fuck you. That's where they're at right now. It's like, if you don't, just like it's
Like on the internet or like their
Internet.
Mostly-
Both.
Mostly internet, but yeah.
Like we'll have those supporters who are polished and cool, and yeah, they may have things to say, but they're cool. You know, let me support. I'm like, damn.
Tell my Mike so you take down this number.
Hey, good morning, Chief. How are you? We are doing so well. So we are about to get out of the commercial. So 30 seconds, okay? And Brian's going to pick up on you then. Okay. Yeah, I had to call him. Every now and again, Brian will do that, and he'll say, turn my mic off, and then you write it down.
I try to write the phone number down ahead of time, if that's going to be the case. But they
Our
have been.
hotline is out of commission right now.
And it's given Paul all kinds of fits. So.
He's been working on it for weeks now.
What do you do when you have to call someone? Just boom, 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 just type it in, and then where's your ring button? Like send call.
You don't have to do that.
No, just dial the number.
Once you hit the last digit, it just goes down.
Just
Okay,
goes,
that's
yeah.
what I was asking.
Yeah, you don't have to do all that. So let's get ready for our caller.
Oh yeah.
Don't worry about that. Some of our spots have dead air, and it kills me because it makes me jump when I hear dead
Yeah.
air. Yeah, I sure do. I have another phone number for Chief too.
Very quickly, let me remind you about the folks at the Baton Rouge Metro Airport. FlyBTR.com is the website. FlyBTR.com. If you're making travel plans, maybe some last minute travel plans for the family over the summer, or you're looking ahead to football season, you want to travel with the Tigers. Delta has built out direct flights to Knoxville and Lexington to see the Tigers take on Tennessee and Kentucky, respectively. Oh, by the way, if you got friends coming in from Clemson, Texas, or Alabama, same thing. Direct flights built out. They come in on Friday, go home on Sunday. Learn more at flybtr.com. All right. Headline of the week, Pastor Tony Spell beats the you-know-what out of a neighbor and is arrested for it, and a lot has come out since then. Joining us now to talk about the whole scenario, or as much as involves his department, I should say. Let's be very clear about that. As much as involves his department, we've got Central's Police Chief Roger Corcoran on with us. How are you, Chief?
I'm doing fine. Good morning.
Good morning. Glad to have you on this morning, although I hate the reason we have to have you on, but I'm always glad to talk to you. Before we get into specifics over on one side, I want to roll back and talk about just generalized procedure, because the pastor has said that a number of calls to your office went ignored or unattended, or whatever the terminology might be. Walk me through procedure of how things happen when a call comes in to file a complaint with y'all.
Well, if we get a walk-in, they walk in, our dispatcher contacts the complainant at the window and takes all the information they need to put it in our CAD system and dispatch a unit to the police department if one's not there, so they can take the complaint. If it's over the phone, it's the same way. The dispatcher takes all the information over the phone and dispatches a unit to whatever location the complainant is at.
Mm-hmm. Is this a matter of calling the department directly or calling 911? Does that change things?
Yes, sir, it does. If 911 is called, the Central Police Department doesn't have a 911 center.
Right.
911, it goes to either the sheriff's office or EMS, and then EMS or the sheriff's office sends it to the appropriate place.
And when you talk about like what kind of documentation there's obviously written documentation from the dispatcher or whoever takes the call on your end. Is there also audio recording? And if so, how long does that live?
Yes, sir. We have audio. Our phones are recorded whenever someone calls into the police department, and that will record the dispatcher and whoever they're speaking to.
Mm-hmm.
That is kept for. I couldn't tell you exactly how long, but it's a considerable amount of time.
Central's Police Chief Roger Corcoran's on with us, talking about the ongoing saga with Life Tabernacle Church and the events that transpired this week. All right, Pastor Tony Spell had said during the week that multiple calls to your office had been ignored. How do you respond?
This is simply untrue. Pastor Spell, along with Woody Jenkins and the attorney, have said that they've called numerous times and we failed to respond. That's simply untrue. That would have been documented when they called.
Mm-hmm.
And if it would have been something of a large investigative deal, like I'm going to rape your family, I want to kill you, we would have transferred that over to the sheriff's office.
Have there been any calls that have come through that you have responded to?
Yes, sir, there has. Over the past 4 years, we've had 5 calls, which we responded to or wrote reports on 5 calls that the Spell's names were documented in. 2 of which were traffic crashes, which had nothing to do with the neighbor. The third one was Mr. Spell's bus ran over a mailbox, which had nothing to do with the neighbor.
Mm-hmm.
The fourth one was Miss Spell called in a complaint that the neighbor had moved some traffic cones that were in the front drive of the church, and upon investigation, it was found that it was a construction worker doing work on the roadway that had moved those cones, so that was dismissed. And the last one was Miss Spell had called in a complaint that the neighbor's son had followed her and was driving erratically. On the day, they show that Mr. Jenkins had put, the neighbor had grabbed himself and flipped the bird at them. There's actually a different angle of camera view there. My officer was at that residence following up on Miss Spell's complaint. And while he was there speaking with him, Mr. and Miss Spell drove up in the driveway of the church across the street and got out of their vehicle, walked up to the edge of the roadway, and they were antagonizing. They were pointing, and it appears that from the video that they might have been shouting something across the street and holding their cameras up from their phones, and that's what caused that situation.
That's the one with the still photograph that's been floating around the media, social media and otherwise lately.
Yes, the newest one.
Okay.
The other ones were from a year or longer ago.
We're talking with Central's Police Chief Roger Corcoran about this ongoing saga between Pastor Tony Spell and his neighbors that came to just a boiling point earlier in the week when Pastor Spell was caught on video just pummeling this dude. I want to rewind the clock to that day, though, Chief, because it was actually the sheriff's office that made the arrest here. What makes that determination whether it's y'all getting the call or them?
Well, I don't know if 911 was called or not, but the young gentleman that was in the altercation with Pastor Spell, he also called the police department, and I was on the phone with him personally. And we already knew that the sheriff's office was en route, so I sent one of my officers that way. We only had one officer out.
Mm-hmm.
My officer responded also, but the sheriff's office was already there when my officer got there. So evidently 911 was called,
mm-hmm.
and the sheriff's office was already responding.
When the neighbor's son had called, that was, I assume, post beatdown. I apologize for my phrasing.
Yes, it was right after the fight had occurred, and he was hollering in the phone that he had been beat up by Mr. Spell. But I did send my officer in that direction to the residence where it had occurred. But the sheriff's office was already there, and my officer stood by while the sheriff's office did their investigation.
What's the working relationship like right there between y'all and the sheriff's office when it comes, because there's going to be a lot of crossover here. Obviously you got to be on high alert for any kind of fallout, backlash, or follow-up. So what's the working relationship like, getting back and forth information and making sure both law enforcement divisions are on the same page?
Well, we have a great working relationship between the two,
mm-hmm.
but whatever the sheriff's office is dispatched to, we can, on the CAD system, we can also see the same information. When their dispatcher types it in the notes, my dispatcher can see that, and he or she can relay that information to my officer. And we all have the same. We have their radio channel, and they have ours. We can hear them; they can hear us. So we hear most everything, and they hear most everything of ours too. But anything of any kind of investigative deal, I have only one detective, which he does IA detective work, and it's mostly misdemeanor stuff. If there's anything of any investigation that needs to be done, we transferred that to the sheriff's office. But the allegations that we were contacted and we didn't do anything, that's untrue. Mr. Spell or Mr. Jenkins, they can say that all day long without consequence. But if I say that we didn't do anything and there is something, I can get in trouble for that, for not giving public records. So we did an audit,
Right.
and all we found was those 5 reports to deal with the Spell's name.
When it comes down to it, and I'm asking you to speculate right now, not asking for anything firm, but when it comes down to it, could they be, rather than saying, no one's saying they're lying, but could they be misinterpreting which law enforcement branch they were calling? Like thinking they're calling y'all, but they're calling the sheriff's office. Is there room for that possibility?
Yes, sir. That occurs all the time.
Mm-hmm.
People think they called Central PD when actually they called Central Substation. And they get the two confused all the time. And we have to ask them, what color uniform, what color vehicle were they driving? Because a lot of people get that misconstrued, because Central Substation has been there for years and years and years. I worked out of that substation for the sheriff's office. That's where I retired from.
Mm-hmm.
But they get them confused because it says Central. But and it's Central Substation. Even though it's the East Baton Rouge Sheriff's Office, they always say Central responded.
Right.
So it happens all the time.
That's, I mean, yeah, I can see where some confusion would come in from there. And we'll follow up the sheriff's office probably early next week as well, because I'm sure they have the same level of protocol, if not greater, same level of protocol and documentation and duplication and, redundancies built in on their end as well.
It's the same.
Yeah. Central's Police Chief Roger Corcoran, our guest. I only have like 2 more for you, sir, and I appreciate you carving out a couple minutes this morning. Want to ask you, but just about the general temperature right now, overall in Central. Are you seeing an uptick in calls for just agitation? People are on guard, people are on edge, that sort of thing. I realize it's a super subjective question, but just want your pulse as the chief.
Oh, well, we're getting calls after calls from followers
mm-hmm.
of Mr. Spell that are cussing us out on the phone at the police department. There's been several of those, and just yesterday I've got an email from someone, and it has an email address attached to it, which they cussed me out. Also, I mean, which is uncalled for. We didn't handle this case, and they're accusing us of arresting Mr. Spell and not arresting the Sherwin young man. And we didn't do the investigation. We didn't make the arrest. Mr. Spell and Mr. Jenkins and Mr. Spell's father, they're accusing me of being best friends, buddies with the Sherwins, and that is so untrue. I've only met him a couple times. Yes, I have been to his residence, not in the visit.
Right.
I went over there on an investigation, and that's the extent of it. It's no different than any other citizen in the city. I've been to many people's residences because I'm a little different than what the sheriff is. I go out on calls with my guys,
right.
Not all the time, but I do respond to calls with them. Because I only have one guy out, sometimes two.
Yeah, the Central Police Department isn't exactly the NYPD. You are kind of strapped for personnel, to be sure.
Yes, sir. We're part-time department.
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate a couple minutes this morning. Thank you for the clarification on a number of different items. That's Central's Police Chief Roger Corcoran. Appreciate it, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. You too. We're coming up on 750 at Talk 107.3 FM WBRP. Talking about community, how about a community bank? How about Landmark Bank? Been around since 1897 as a community bank. If you visit landmarkbankla.com, hit that little About Us tab, find locations and hours, you'll find what communities you will have Landmark Bank in. And when you have a community bank, you have a banker. You matter there. You're not just some line item. You matter at Landmark Bank. When you sit down with your banker, mapping out your future, where are you borrowing? Where are you saving? Where are you investing? They map it out for you. And like I said, it's a community effort. Someone who's in your community is invested in your community. Your dollars are in your community. You can learn more at landmarkbankla.com. Right now, here's your money now. I'm sorry, what were you trying to say there? I can't read lips, so I never know.
That's my bad. When he's like, the followers is here calling me and cussing me out, I'm like, that's
So there's two. There's two in there. First of all, when he said the question where he said it's untrue about the unanswered phone calls. Yeah, so there, yeah, we got two pieces coming out of that one.
I'm gonna probably
Separate. No, those are two different posts. Should I do a separate? Well, no, because it'd cut for me. Yeah, I would like to set it up and then go to like a graphic of Central Police Department with the little audio bars going across it. Is that doable?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We'll knock that out after the show.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna make this look good.
And I'm gonna.
I say after the show. After the show and after we're done with Rocco's sermon. Oh, well, let's get the table over here before he comes traipsing in during this day in history. And let's do that. Get that ready.
Let me, because God knows how unhinged it'll be when Rocco comes in.
We're raising Wilton's expectations way too far, by the way.
All I need from you, Brian, I'm going to get you to sit back in your chair, pull the mic a little closer to you, talk with your hands, look at me. I'm going to stand right there by the thing, and set me up 10 seconds for the first one, 10 seconds for the second one. That's all I need from you. Sure. I want to do it before Rocco even gets here.
Yep, give me 1 second.
This is Louisiana Commission of Agriculture and Forestry, Dr. Mike Stein. Hogarth, gumbo, shrimp boil, certified Louisiana shrimp like fresh, local flavor to Louisiana's favorite dishes. Certified Louisiana shrimp, fresh, local, Louisiana. Guarantee Media is hiring.
I would even probably venture to say, I don't want to use the word unhinged.
What are they hiring for?
Guarantee Media? Oh, mainly sales.
Yeah, nothing really specific.
Nothing really
that ad always runs. It's one of those things where we're not looking, but we're never not looking.
All right. All I need is like 10 seconds from you. 10 seconds for the
On mic, or I'm talking directly to you?
at me.
Yeah.
Like pull your mic close so we get 180.
Yeah.
Keep your screen up. I want to look like I just
Do I need to be sitting?
yeah.
I'm
Sit.
dumpy when I'm sitting. All right.
Sit. Talk with your hands. All right.
All right.
The first one set me up as chief.
I've got the first one. Okay.
Go ahead.
Pastor Tony Spell says Central Police Department has ignored phone calls to his office. I asked Chief. Pastor Tony Spell says the Central Police Department has ignored calls to their office from him. I asked Chief Roger Corcoran about that exactly.
All right. Next one.
In the wake of the whole Tony Spell saga, what's the temperature been like in Central? How agitated are folks? Chief Roger Corcoran sounds off.
Yep. Michelle's gonna be like, y'all look good. I did not. I guess I should have. I didn't get out of here from work. I I think I briefly looked at it. I know, Alan.
Rewind the clock. Back to when Pastor Spell first got arrested. I don't know who did it, so I can't give proper attribution. But over on Facebook, when we first posted one of the videos about it, the first person to comment on the first video that we posted up, they didn't comment anything. They just tagged Dana White. I'm sorry. I love y'all. That's so awesome. Oh, pastor's getting arrested, and the first comment is tagging the head of UFC. That is brilliant. Thanks to Ryan. I don't mean to make light of it, but I mean, it's hopefully this is in the rear view now and everything else will be in the courts. No more out in the streets as this, moves forward. I don't want to advance the story anymore. Although I say that, but it will. So we'll stay on it as it moves forward, if it moves forward. We've got ROCCO coming up next hour. We got This Day in History coming up next hour. Give me a quick second to remind you about the folks over at ExxonMobil. You need me to remind you about ExxonMobil. Been around for 115 years in our backyard, hiring our neighbors, making the products that make the world go round. Now, oil and gas has always been the bread and butter, always will be the bread and butter over at ExxonMobil. But when you move into the future with Louisiana being at the forefront of energy dominance, that's going to involve a few things like carbon capture and sequestration. If you want to know where Exxon plans on heading with that, visit aboutlaccs.com, aboutlaccs.com. Well, it's trying to map things out to make sure we're on time throughout. Want to keep it that way. Do want to pivot over to data centers have been a point of contention here in Louisiana as we're seeing the growth of them because we need more of them, because we use more data, because there are more outlets for things online. It's got to be housed somewhere, right? We've seen a couple pop up in Louisiana, and the question comes up, hey, who's picking up the bill on this? Who's got the tab on this? Well, Governor Jeff Landry has signed an executive order. You heard about it in news at the bottom of the hour. The governor signed an order that says he will ensure that residents and local businesses are not paying for the massive amount of energy needed to power A1 data centers. Landry says the order will require data center companies to follow a new set of guidelines in order to qualify for any tax breaks that might be coming along the way. Cut 10.
Can you meet the demand? That's number one. Okay. Understand that we're not placing it on the ratepayer.
Yes, just that simple. And we've talked about this from a number of different aspects. In fact, Kenny Hubbard, president of West Feliciana Parish, hopped on with us a couple weeks ago. Might be time to check back in with him. In fact, he hopped on with us a couple weeks ago to talk about what Hut 8 is doing with their data center up that way and how they're doing it differently and how it's going to benefit the residents of West Feliciana as opposed to being a burden on their backs. And data center companies are going to be required to submit evidence to the Louisiana Department of Economic Development that they're able to pay for their own electrical needs. 4 data center campuses are under construction in Louisiana right now. Landry says more AI centers could be on the way, but not, like he says, at the expense of the ratepayer. Cut 11.
We're like finally the prettiest girl at the dance. You know what I mean? Like everybody wants to dance with us. But guess what? Before they can even ask us out, they got to go look at this executive order. And they've got to meet those demands.
I love him. There's just times where I absolutely love him. That was fantastic. To transition to the metaphor and then back to the reality. Just break that. I'm sorry, Wilton, play that soundbite one more time, please. Cut 11.
Whatever we do, we cannot lay.
No. Cut 11. Sorry. I know I moved you forward. So
we're like finally the prettiest girl at the dance. You know what I mean? Like everybody wants to dance with us. But guess what? Before they can even ask us out, they got to go look at this executive order. and they've got to meet those demands.
I'm sorry. It's just to go from the metaphor back to the reality. That's just brilliant. The governor signed the Louisiana Ratepayer and Community Protection Initiative a week after an Advocate newspaper report said that Entergy was planning on purchasing a power plant in Texas to help power the metadata center over in Richland Parish. That acquisition would cost the individual or the average ratepayer. We're out of here. Did I miss the signal or was there no signal? Okay. All right. No worries. No worries. I knew I was going to go a foul when I went down to have the soundbite played a second time. But he says, if you want to dance, you've got to look at the executive orders. Like, Governor, you just went from metaphor to reality. Oh, golly.
It's like, I get what he was trying to say.
We're the prettiest girl to dance.
It's a strange way to say it. Like, why'd you go that route?
Right.
The execution was weird, too. Like, we're like the prettiest girl to dance. You're like, okay.
Which I get.
And if you want to dance, you got to follow the executive order.
Right. But like, but if you want to stay in the metaphor, you know, it's like if you want to dance, you gotta talk to my old man or something like that, right? He abandoned the metaphor midway through.
Yeah, Kate has built it out to just fire now.
Because, like, legally, you have a little bit of room. Like, if he didn't have built it out to fire, I could have let Brian finish talking, I guess, and
Brian
then done
could
it.
float, but
But it just went.
we try not.
So according to the Federal Communications Commission, all you have to do is ID yourself. We have a 10-second ID built out, but if any time I say you're listening to WBRP Baker Baton Rouge, I've met the what's required legally. So
Is that part of y'all's legal ID, Baker Baton Rouge?
yeah,
Yeah, our tower's in Baker, right?
Oh, I did not.
I think so. I don't know. I thought our tower was off North Sherwood. Yeah. But I think our license is out of Baker. I don't know. Those are all Paul questions.
Paul, where's Rocco? Damn, normally he's here like 30 minutes early. You can take that with you if you want. Your 8 o'clock hour will always be because we don't use top stores.
Top stories and trending is like, I'm like,
Oh, see,
what?
it's ABC continues to run, and if you're
So
not,
it gave their update on
Yeah.
the ad, and then now they're
yeah, and now they're
Is it
going
the
back.
same update.
Different, but
Would you rather have Cade build that out to where the flyer fires off Bloomberg automatically? Can he fire off Bloomberg automatically?
I think he can.
Okay.
To where at 8:03 it knows in the system to take Bloomberg.
Yeah.
And he can do it for tell him to do.
Oh wait, whoa! He might not be able to because ABC is still coming through the board, not through the server.
Okay.
And Bloomberg comes through the board as well, right? Or is it recorded? Okay.
That Money Minute report comes through
Yeah. So what he would not be able to do is the board's still live even though the ID fires off.
Okay.
So I don't think he'd be able to. No. Oh my goodness. Shit, come on.
Shit.
806 Talk 1073 FM WBRP. Mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. Hour 3 coming your way right now. Brian here with you. Brie Lynn moving back into the producer spot because there was no way in the world we were going to leave Wilton sitting there for this hour.
No.
Which, by the way, just got a text. ROCCO will be here in about 10 minutes.
The calm before the storm.
Right.
Everything's calm right now.
But the thing is, you just don't know. You don't know where he's at. You don't know when he's coming in. And the number of times where it's like, we're going to do this day in history, and then
it just completely goes off the rails. I know poor Wilton would probably be sitting here going, what is going on?
Yeah. So, by the way, the po' boy we're having today is, he just texted me. It's, it's giraffe. He came across a giraffe in East Texas, and, yeah. So no, just kidding. We're going to be having beef in some form or fashion because we're brought to you by the Louisiana Beef Industry Council. All grilling season long, y'all. That's coming up a little bit later on. Right now, though, it's time for this day in history.
I cannot. Before we dive into this day in history, shout out to the Glorified Crew on Facebook. Brian,
what's the crew up to?
Alan says, I love ROCCO making Brian turn redder than a Louisiana strawberry.
That's about right.
Yeah, that's about right.
It's going to happen.
It's so funny.
I know.
We love
I used to try and fight it. But you just let ROCCO be ROCCO, and the entertainment comes.
I love it. Okay. I have 1934 and beyond. What do you have earlier than that?
I don't know.
All right. Well, U.S. President FDR signs the Federal Credit Union Act into law, establishing credit unions. I thought that was a little fun this day in history fact.
Okay.
Yeah. 1963, President John F. Kennedy gave his famous, I'm going to try this, Ich bin ein Berliner.
That's the only one you had wrong.
Ich bin ein Berliner.
Bin ein Berliner.
In West Berlin, here's the deal. So he wanted to say it as support, saying we are one of y'all in West Berlin. Not y'all, but pretty much later misconception claims that he was trying to say, I am a donut. Everybody took out of that he was saying, I'm a donut. But really, he was trying to say, I'm
a Berliner. I'm with you. Yes. Thank God he didn't say it in Hamburg.
Right. 1974.
That's not my joke. That's an old joke.
I figured that was a movie quote.
That's not a movie. I don't know whose joke it is, so I don't know who to give attribution to, but that's not an original.
Old joke. Yeah. The first UPC barcode scan happened in Troy, Ohio. This is it's fun. When a pack of Ringley's Juicy Fruit gum rang up in a supermarket, that changed checkout lines forever. 1974, the first UPC barcode scan. So how did they check out before then? They were just like...
They have price tags on things.
Oh, yeah. And it took longer,
You had a price tag gun where you would, just scroll your price tag, would stick the price tag on there, and be like, oh, this is $2.79.
Took a little longer. She would have to ring it in.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, the price tag itself had like little cuts in it and rips, so you couldn't rip it off evenly. Like if you say you got like a whole pack of ribeye steaks that would run you $25 their time, and then like a pack of gum that would run you 15 cents, you wouldn't be able to peel the price tag off of that and put it on the other one. However, what you could do is bring your own pricing gun in there and just start putting your price on everything.
Hey,
who did that? My Blue Heaven, underrated Steve Martin movie. My Blue Heaven, he did that in the grocery store. Yeah.
In 1977, Elvis Presley played what became his final concert in Indianapolis. He died less than 2 months later in August. But this particular show, nearly 18,000 fans saw him last play live, sold out show.
Yeah, I love how the picture next to it is like, younger Elvis, so it's not 1977.
It's not
Elvis.
like right up to his death. They showed him young.
Yeah.
2015, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled that same-sex couples have the constitutional right to marry nationwide. I remember when that news broke, live shots were everywhere, all over Fox News, CNN. Cities were celebrating, I believe. Do you remember that? Like, that was a whole new news day.
So that was 2015. 2 years
Yeah.
prior to that was when the Defense of Marriage Act was shot down.
Okay.
On this day, by the way.
Oh, same
Like,
day.
yeah.
Whoa. Okay. And that's all I got. What about you, Brian?
All right, I got a few. You had the Elvis concert. Good
Yep.
deal. This day in 1979, Muhammad Ali announced his retirement. This day in 1981, Stripes was released. This day in 1987, Full Metal Jacket. And in 2015, Ted 2 was released.
Nice. Oh, I love
You
Ted.
never want to forget Ted 2,
The
right?
Cursing Bear.
Yeah.
All right. Happy birthday today to Derek Jeter, Ariana Grande, Aubrey Plaza, known for Parks and Recreation and The White Lotus. Nick Offerman, also in Parks and Recreation.
Really?
Yeah. That's all I got. What about you? Oh, Michael Vick.
You had Derek Jeter. I want to add Babe Dietrichson Zaharias to that. Born in 1911. And Roy Campanella. No, I'm sorry. Roy Campanella passed today. He wasn't born today. Never mind.
I don't have any notable deaths on this day. Do you have one?
Just Roy Campanella.
Okay. Today is National Take Your Dog to Work Day. Let's not, though.
You know what?
National
Shame
Food
on
Truck
me.
Day.
All right, today's my dad's birthday.
Oh,
Yeah.
happy birthday to Mr. Haldane.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, Dad Haldane. Yeah, today all I got is just National Take Your Dog to Work Day, which if it's wild, like my
don't do
German
that.
Shepherd,
Don't do
please
that.
don't.
I know I'm the curmudgeon when it comes to this, but no, your dog doesn't belong in the workplace.
I have words with
Unless
people
you
to
have
bring-
specifically an office dog, like that's like an office mascot, you know, that okay, if that's where you work, that's fine. But just bringing your dog to work when there's not normally a dog in the office,
right?
It's always a little bit awkward for a few of the people in the
It's
office.
chaotic,
Yeah.
especially if you have like my German Shepherd. He is unhinged.
Yeah.
So
By the
imagine
way,
if I brought him to work.
By the way, and I don't know who did this at what point in time, but on the wrong days in the summertime, my office smells like pee, dog pee. I don't know when it happened. I don't know when it happened, how many years ago or whatever, because I hadn't been in that office for about a year and a half now. But yeah, it was certain times when the weather's wrong and the humidity's wrong and the AC hadn't caught up. It's like it's gross in here.
So
because somebody brought their dog to work one
on
day,
National Take Your Dog to Work Day,
Yeah.
and just left them there. to pee.
probably on this day.
Oh
So,
my gosh.
Yeah. I know. Go ahead, hate me all you want on Facebook. I don't care.
See, I'm with you, Brian. A service dog is one thing, but just your pet, knowing that sometimes he can get loose, like my German Shepherd, he's just unhinged. And I would never bring him to work, jumping on people.
Well,
Yeah, it's
so
just
there's a couple things that go along with it. Yes, a service dog is trained for that, absolutely. And when you have an office mascot type of dog situation,
maybe, yes.
that's another
Like
thing.
Penny with
But-
Gordon McKernan.
Sure. I don't know what that working relationship is like in their office, but I know a previous place where I worked, they started bringing their dog to work like every day, and the dog gets acclimated over time, right?
Right.
But if only on the one day out of the year you're taking your dog out of the environment they know, bringing them into an environment they don't know, and that is a completely different world. There's a million different smells over here. Like, why are there all these people? It's a different scenario. For like the questions going on through a dog's mind have got to be like,
right. And then he goes
You know
pee
what?
in Brian Haldane's office.
right. And that's, you get to the point where like the dog needs NeuroJust.
I see where you're going with that.
I'm not going to do that though. That would be a wonderful transition right there. And
Poor Jordan
and-
Genesis.
Jordan would love it, but I'm not going to do that right now.
And then the dog needs NeuroJust.
Can you imagine a dog getting TMS therapy? I can't.
No. And we, so in case you missed it, we kind of did we talk about that on air? We're going to go put on the helmets or whatever it is.
Yeah. So
next week.
Bree Lynn and I are going over to NeuroJust, going to sit down and just walk through the process. Because I love talking about what they do over at NeuroJust, but we don't often, it's hard to visualize how the story goes. We know what the results are. We know how wonderfully the folks over there care and take mental health a lot more seriously than a lot of the mental health industry does. A lot of the mental health industry is just about writing you a prescription and sending you on your way. Over at NeuroJust, they don't want to treat the symptom. They want to get you back to where you actually need to be. That's why they specialize in TMS therapy. Okay, so I will go there. If you
I was
visit,
like, just do it
No,
now.
I know. But if you visit neurojust.com, NEUROJUST, neurojust.com, you can learn a lot more about what transcranial magnetic stimulation actually is and how it helps. When you are battling with anxiety or depression, or the anxiety leads to depression, see, the anxiety is this constant fight or flight in your mind. It's the 6 foot waves that are always chopping around, and a constant. And within that wearing down is where you start to find the loneliness creep in, the depression creep in, the isolation creep in, and then it takes over. How do you get back out of that? TMS therapy is what they specialize in. Visit neurojust.com. Monday, Breland and I are going to go over there so we can put some stuff up on social of just visuals of it. Like, here's how the process actually works. Take a look at me doing this with, because it's FDA approved, it's non-invasive, it's painless. But I can tell you that all day long, or you can see it. That's what we're going to do next week. In the meanwhile, visit neurojust.com. Oh!
You could have did this day, but we didn't know if ROCCO was going to be. Sometimes he comes in early.
Well, he's genuinely late today.
Same, Matt. And look, I paid top freaking dollar to get this German Shepherd trained by someone notable in town. His name's Larry Benoit. I don't know if you know him, but Larry Benoit dog training 2 times. I even did like the intensive training for 2 weeks where Larry kept him still unhinged. And I even got him neutered, still unhinged. It's German Shepherd. Yeah, it's just all German Shepherd, GSDs. Unhinged freaking dog, like unhinged. Because last night he would swear I didn't let him out all day. And Scott let him out twice in the morning. I rushed home to go let him out in the afternoon, came back to work. Freaking gold bananas, running around in circles, comes back inside, goes back out, goes back inside, gets a bone, brings it back inside. I'm like, please go outside. Like, but he's a working dog, so you have to work him, full of energy all the time. I'm like, I wish.
Where do you go to sleep?
Tara. We live in Tara. Where do you live?
I'm gonna stay with my parents lately. And,
What part of town? Yeah.
South
We live probably 10 minutes from each other. Sherwood area, and I'm in Tara. But see, we're both members of Tara Pool, so if Brian's out there, I'll see him sometime. Alan, the most unhinged dog breed I have seen. NIP dogs on my roof. Or Pomeranians. Those little shits are born assholes. Not like a German Shepherd, Alan.
Or a Jack Russell terrorist.
Yeah. Do you want to do cuts here while we're waiting on Roger?
Yeah, let's go back to the Pearson Cross.
What cut?
13, 14, and 15. $8:19, Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP, mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. We're going to get you to Foodie Friday as soon as it's humanly possible. ROCCO has been unavoidably detained. Should be here in just a couple minutes. We'll get underway there as soon as he rolls in. In the meanwhile, a couple things we want to touch on. I want to roll back to last hour and give a shout out to the Central Police Chief, Roger Corcoran. He did a fantastic job of spelling out procedure and spelling out timeline from his end, from his perspective, spelling out timeline of how things have transpired. And just to kind of recap a little bit, Pastor Tony Spell had said that numerous calls to the police department in Central went, they've been antagonized and terrorized by this neighbor for some time, and the calls were ignored. Now, Chief Corcoran said they went through and did an audit, and they found 5 calls from the Spells over the last 4 years. 2 were traffic related accidents. One was one of the Life Tabernacle buses hit a mailbox, so that's not related to the neighbors across the street. One was they accused the neighbor of moving traffic cones to block their driveway. Surveillance footage revealed that it was actually a construction crew that moved the traffic cones. It
One
was
with the wife.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was a construction crew that moved the traffic.
Yeah.
Not even the Tartan Army from Scotland moving traffic cones, because that would have been on a statue instead of in a driveway. Nothing. Okay, I'll move on. And then there was one where the son of the neighbor was driving erratically and like zipped past him, shouting some things along the way. So those were the 5 phone calls that there are actual records of. Now, to the chief's credit, I asked him, is it possible? Is there room in the discussion for, hey, I called the law, not I called the police or I called the sheriff? Can it be possible that he makes a phone call that didn't have the proper follow-up, but he wasn't calling the right spot? And Chief Corcoran said definitively that is a possibility, because you have the Central Police Department and the Central Substation of the sheriff's office. So you could be calling one thinking you're calling the other. Now, the follow-up on that would be an audit on the sheriff's end to say, what were the phone calls and when were they on that end, to determine whether or not any call to quote-unquote law enforcement went to one rather than the other. The sheriff's going to have the same protocols, if not better, than the Central PD. Sheriff's got a few more people than the Central PD. I don't want us getting lost in the wash of thinking, this is a police department, so it's buttoned up from top to bottom with just manpower left and right. No, this is the Central Police Department. He's got part-time employees. This is not, Tom Selleck and Blue Bloods. This is not that, we're not talking about the NYPD, 35,000 people type of thing. We're talking about, this is Central, for crying out loud. So you would have the same protocols on the sheriff's level side, on the sheriff's office side, if we continue to, follow that trail to see what calls came in and when. There will be record of it, but it'll be posted on demand at talk1073.com when the show is over with today. If you want to go check it out. I thought he was very forthright in all the, he was just very factual, like boom, boom, boom. This is what happened and when.
And when you asked him his response immediately, he said absolutely untrue. Remember when you asked him?
When I asked him about calls that had, let me give the back setup there. I asked him, were there calls that went unanswered or ignored or not attended to? And he said that is absolutely untrue.
Right.
So that was from his perspective. I will also rewind the clock and set the table this way. If Pastor Spell wants to call in, I'm not telling him no.
I would love to have Pastor Spell on.
Let me follow up, though. I'm not chasing him either, because I chased him during COVID. And I had him booked on this show twice, and he stood me up twice.
Really?
Yes.
And then one time you went down there, correct?
Well, that's a whole other story that we're not going to. But yeah, I went over there the night that they had their service. That was all the hubbub during the peak of scared COVID part. I went over there to see how many people were going to the service, and I was approached by a gentleman who never pointed a gun at me, but was holding one. He told me I didn't belong there, so I left.
You were like, no.
Yeah, but I had the pastor booked on the show twice. He stood me up twice, both times for national media. So I know my place. I'm not big enough. I understand that. So I'm not going to chase anymore, because I've chased before. So, but if he wants to, I'll take his phone call for sure. Oh, good Lord.
Where's Rocco? Oh, you're seeing him in the camera, aren't you?
No. He caught the train at government.
Oh, no. To kind of let the listeners know and everybody on Facebook, we have access to the camera system to see who's at the side door. I'm thinking Rocco's coming in.
Oh, no, I don't have access to the cameras.
Oh, really?
I could just unlock them.
I got the cameras.
Oh, see, I could just unlock them. So
I'm thinking Rocco's coming in hot. Shoot. He caught the train.
He's coming in hot for sure. So, all right. I just wondered how to squeeze him down to 2 segments. That's the problem.
I know.
I don't know how to do that.
Technically, one long segment and one little 3-minute segment.
Yeah, I don't know how to do that. So, but we'll get it done. We'll carve up some po' boys and enjoy for sure. It's just the descriptiveness of preparation is going to have to be condensed. I don't know
how do we trim down Rocco, Brian? Is the question.
This is what I'm wondering in my head right now. I don't know how to do that. While I got a second, let me remind you about the folks over at 180 Pros. 180pros.com is the website. 180pros.com. Don't have an IT provider, get an IT partner. Huge difference right there. And if you'd like them to explain the difference, you can call them at 225-330-2200. The office is on Sherwood Forest, right here in town. And if you run into something, a problem with your network, Well, they base their success off your success. That's one area of a partnership. They want to make sure it's easy for you on the billing side. Simplified billing. How about a one-page invoice from an IT partner? Unbelievably simple on your end. And like I said, when it comes to the technology, top of the line. When it comes to the cybersecurity, they're in the battle with you and for you. They get it done for you over at 180pros.com. Tomorrow's election day in town. We've touched on that a little bit today. I kind of want to go back to a story we had from our news partners at Louisiana Radio Network who were checking in with Pearson Cross. Do you have cuts 13, 14, and 15, Breland? All right. I'll stop back in on that real quick. Pearson Cross is a political science professor at the University of Louisiana Monroe. Talking about the runoff on the Republican side tomorrow. Cross says he feels Letlow might have, this is not going to be a cakewalk for her, and she might have counted her chickens before she hatched if she thought that she was going to win this thing with ease.
I think she thought once Cassidy was dispensed with, she would be waltzing to a conclusion, but Fleming has made a race of it.
I don't think she thinks she's waltzing anywhere. I mean, we talked to her immediately after the election, for one thing. You had your victory party that night because you moved on to the next round. And she said on this show 2 days ago, she said it was right back to work the next day because that was just one hurdle of 3 in order to get into the office. If you want to win the office of the Senate, you need to win the closed Republican primary, the closed Republican runoff, and then the general. So I completely disagree with Pearson Cross on that front as to whether or not she was taking anything lightly along the way. Meanwhile, Cross says, talking about the Trump endorsement, he's actually, he thinks he's found an angle to where that could be a detriment and not a benefit.
James Carville said that he thought it was because it was a change election and that people were looking to change, and somehow they had identified Letlow as the establishment candidate.
I have trouble with that one, and here's why. Okay, we live in a MAGA state. We live in a very red Republican state. We were heavy Trump in the last election. Okay, so you are listening. You just listened to a soundbite from a political science professor who I'm gonna fight through it. Who a political ROCCO's in the house. A political science professor who is trying to tell us to listen to James Carville for reasons to ignore Donald Trump. I don't know that if I can get on board with that.
Wilton's over here going, what?
Give me one quick second. You ready? Leave my mic on.
Okay. All right.
Get your ass in here. There's only 2 minutes till news. I'm coming.
Wilton is about to die laughing.
I know. I understand. So we normally carve out an extra segment of Foodie Friday
Even
for
Paul
him.
came up here, our engineer.
Darn right. Hey, I tell you what, while he's in the hallway, go ahead and hit the intro so the folks at the Louisiana Beef Industry Council can get their love. Singing Sinatra, bringing in the cooler, running in.
Let me just tell you.
Hey, brother.
Man.
8:15.
Busier than a jackrabbit on a hot griddle, brother.
1 minute.
Woo-wee. Like a one-armed freaking wallpaper hanging in a windstorm, dude.
You doing all right, brother?
I caught traffic.
You caught traffic.
Then I caught the train. But you know what? Let me just tell you, I'm here, brother.
No, you are.
And
you
look,
are. Yeah.
Space Mountain may be the oldest ride at Disney World.
What?
But the line sure is the longest. You hear what I'm saying?
I totally hear what you're saying.
What I'm screaming?
Oh, Lord, Rocco.
And I got surprises.
30 seconds till news.
I got Red Bulls, not Red Bulls, Asante.
Alani's.
Oh, man. I got stuff about Roman astrology, Aristotle and atrocities and all those guys. Just wait. You know this is the month of June, right?
It is.
Juno.
I did know.
You know what she is?
Juno? I know.
In polyistic ministries, that is the Roman goddess.
Yes.
Did you know? Of family.
Of families. I
Yeah.
did not know that. We'll learn more right
3,
after
2,
news.
1. Coming
we
back
got a
soon.
break.
Bro. Fuck you, dude.
Huh?
I mean, dude. It just keeps coming and coming and coming. Bro,
You want headset or microphone?
no headset today.
Okay,
bro.
I
I don't
figured.
even have time to put that fucking thing. Excuse my language. But a fair gift for Father's Day.
We keep
And since you
hers
got
on
3
Facebook.
children,
Yes.
you probably play both roles.
I do. My husband
That's
don't do
on
shit.
You know, that's why I don't celebrate Father's
My
Day.
husband
No,
don't
hold on.
do shit.
Right there is why I
Dude.
don't. Here's why. Okay? Because on Mother's Day, you go to church and the pastor says, I need all the mothers to stand up. The beautiful mothers, and we love the mothers. And then on Father's Day, we need the fathers and the stepfathers and the grandfathers and anybody who's played a father figure and anybody who's ever watched Father Knows Best. Like, everybody ends up standing up. Fathers don't matter. Got something for Father's Day. And for the mom.
I do both roles in my house, Brian.
You know,
Both
I'm one of
roles.
your biggest fans. Get your. Where's my mic?
Right here, right now.
Oh, let me just tell you something. You see, I was raised by my grandmother and my mother.
Yeah.
So they played both roles. So she was every part and bit of a father, and my grandmother as a grandfather.
Hang
Because my
on.
grandfather
Hey,
died when I
that's
was young.
fantastic.
Hey,
They
hey,
have a
hey,
day.
hey, wait, you had the
They
floor.
have a
You
day.
screaming and yelling, y'all red, dude. Did you take your blood pressure medicine today? No. So in honor of Father's Day, because I wasn't here for that.
Or everybody's day.
I wasn't here for that.
Mm-hmm.
I got you something, bro. It's a little pretty butterfly.
You are. I love it. Who you are meant to be, Rocco.
Because you are meant to be in radio. Not chasing giant giraffes. You know, there's a funny saying, too.
Oh, you heard that bit about the giraffe? We haven't
No,
giraffe.
no, I mean, like, you know.
Well, we're brought to you by the Louisiana Giraffe
I
Industry
use
Council.
high as a giraffe beep for a lot of my vernaculars, you know. I use another word. And I got one for you. Haldane.
Yes, sir.
You know I like numbers.
I do know you like numbers.
What's the perfect number in a faith?
3.
No.
Yes, it is.
7. 7 sacraments.
I'm sorry. I thought there was a Holy Trinity.
There is, but that's not the perfect number. 7 is. So you just
Okay.
learned something.
So the Trinity's
I'm
not
a theologian, dude. You know that?
That's close.
That's right.
That's close.
And so 7. And what's my other favorite number? My most favorite number of all.
33 is
and
your
you
favorite
add that
number.
together, and you get what?
40.
That's good, because let me tell you about the number 40. Very significant. The Ark was out for 40 years.
Okay.
Okay.
Years?
Days, whatever, years.
No, the 40. Yeah.
40 years and 49.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what we fast.
40 years and 40 nights.
When you're supposed to be
I
fasting.
fasted for 40
They
years.
say, so anyway, this is for you. Now, they had an XL, and I picked it up, and I looked at it, and I said, nah, I got to go with the 2X. Not because you're heavy.
I am heavy.
No.
I'm a fat guy.
You husky, like me. We husky.
Husky is what my
You
grandmother
know, back
called
in the
me.
day, Sears and Roebucks. What's your name, brother?
That's Wilton.
Oh, Wilton. How you doing, man? I'm Rocco. Damn glad to meet you. You know, back in the day, the Sears and Roebuck Company, you know, they had the catalog that would come out. My grandfather would have it. My papa was still alive. Oh, man. Well, I used to take and look at the underwear section.
Oh, that
ladies. Oh, yeah.
Primo.
Oh, yeah. They had lingerie. They had all kind of stuff. Oh, yeah. Look, anyway. So I digress. My point being is that they had the shears, the indestructible pant, Haldane.
And then your cousin tells you
the rough skins and the tough skins.
Your cousin tells you, if you lick it, you can see the nipple.
Yes.
Wait. Now you talking about licking stuff, dude. Do not take me down that rabbit hole with you, because you know I got a plethora of stuff I can come at you with.
Go
that.
for it.
No, I can't. We got limited time, and I made for you today, and I'm gonna talk about it on the air.
All right.
But let me give you your shirt first.
Okay.
3 plus sleeves, 6. Perfect number 7.
Oh
67.
my word.
Show me his shirt.
No, it's 6, 7.
Go, Brian.
All right. I'm going to put this on.
Always in my game, brother. And look, I got one for you for when you get back, because I wore my shirt. My kids got this at the Walmart for me. You ready, Bree?
Yeah.
Tell me if this doesn't describe me to a F&T.
I do a thing called whatever I want. That's you.
Since day one. Day one. And I thought about you yesterday, because I do a little general contracting. Had to go over to the Cleggs over there by the Tejas Club.
Yeah.
And I was looking to see when they got, Get Tracy Lawrence back, man. Y'all get him back, man. I want to see him. I want to go to the concert with you over there.
Yep.
Go hang out and do a couple little, cocktails. Well, I'll have my little THC. I'll have THC stuff, Sneak that in. Put it in my own little mug. It's not that I'm not an alcoholic. I mean, I just did it for health reasons because, in Louisiana, everything you do, it's not just that. Everything you do. Hello to you, Wilt. Okay. So you're at an age where you're old enough to drink. Everything we do, Mardi Gras, what do? We party, we drink. Football games, what do? We party, we drink.
Mm-hmm.
Crawfish balls, what do? We party, we drink. East party, drink, party, we drink. And I never took a time off of not drinking for any extended period of time. My doctor's like, that's why you're fat. He called me. He said I carry my weight well. Is what Nacho Albert. Dr. Joe, sorry. Well,
Dr. Nacho,
let me just tell you. So
we're back on.
When I started my weight journey and decided to lose weight, we were off the air. We were talking about drinking and not drinking. And Britt and I are going to go to the Tejas Club to see somebody like Paris County Line or somebody.
Okay.
I'll be up +1, so I get him free.
We'll go party.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And you got to do my social media all day.
We're going to bring him to. I'll
Come
snap
on, Brian.
it. I'll throw it. I'll give it to my girl. She'll spin it. She'll whip it.
Texas
She'll boom.
Club. I'll do every show whenever.
Okay.
They got one tonight. Come on,
Sure.
ROCCO.
Who's playing?
Karen Waldrop. She's from Mandeville.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Wait.
I've never heard of her.
Karen Waldrop. Yeah. She was the one on The Voice.
She does covers?
Who's her old man?
Yeah, she does cover the Karen Waldrop band.
No, who's her old man?
Oh, I don't know.
Who's her old man? What you mean, her husband?
Her
dad.
I don't what you?
Oh, her old man.
Man, what you talking about over here? So today, in honor of Greek Heritage Month, and because we got to do beef, yes, it's Greek Heritage Month, and it's also the month of June. And in Greek mythology, Hera is the goddess of June, and in Roman mythology, which I was telling you about, Aristotle and Atrocities and all those guys.
Mm-hmm.
I had to take that at LSU.
Mm-hmm.
And it was an elective, Greek mythology, Roman mythology. I don't have any idea what they were talking about. To this day, I don't. But I passed it. I got a B. And I don't even know how I did that. They talked about the constellations and the Little Dipper and the Big Dipper and,
Okay.
But it wasn't astrology.
Hey, I was going to say, that's astronomy. You're talking astrology.
No. This was Greek mythology, man.
Okay.
We went to the planetarium.
Uh-huh.
You do go to that for astrology. I know what you're talking about. I went to the planetarium downtown and watched the light with Pink Floyd.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was in college. Let's just say I was a little under the influence.
You
it was spectacular.
You did not study astronomy, but you did take
No, I don't want to be an astrologer.
But you did take up space.
I did. I was there. I was at LSU for 6 years pursuing my band. I just had to walk over that one because it was really good. And if I give you any credit, then you run with it. Okay, so I'm waiting for the next one to come.
All right.
I purposely came late to see if he would be prepared for the show and had other stuff ready.
I always have a backup topic.
This guy, look at him. See that?
Yeah,
well, I love him. So in Greek mythology, and in honor of Greek month, today I'm doing beef shawarma po' boy.
Let's go. Let's go. This is a first, by the way. We have not done a shawarma yet.
Now look.
No. The years we started this show in its current form in 2019, we have not done a shawarma.
Hold on. Let's pause. His Mandeville accent just came out just now.
You got a Mandeville accent?
Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Is that even something?
Bro.
It almost sounded like St. Bernard.
No.
He can't even get to that grace yet. He's been trying for 30 years. I've been knowing him. I'm going to take him to Shawn.
Trying to not.
Oh, come on, man. Because if you did and you were an honorary Shalmation, you could claim being from New Orleans, not from Mandeville. You ain't from New Orleans. St. Paul.
I don't claim to be.
Oh, yes, you do. My mom, I was born in Metairie or something.
I was born in Metairie.
Oh, I don't believe it. I want to see the birth. Just like Obama. I want to see the birth certificate. I want to see it on paper.
I was born
at
East Jefferson Hospital.
Here we go.
Lived on Oakland. Lived on Orion. Baptized by Monsignor Bazoo.
Now look, let's get back to the po' boy. Because see, with the po' boy, what are we doing? Beef Council Month.
Right.
So I'm doing just beef.
Right.
Shawarma. Now there's the combination. If you go get the gyro.
Right.
Okay. Which, by the way, all the guys that own the Arzies and the Al Bashas and I went to LSU with them. Okay,
Right.
they were there when we were there.
Wasn't there was one above you? Wasn't the original
Yes.
ROCCO's above
So that
ROCCO's?
is the guy. His name is Ross Lamont, who owns Arzy's, and
Right.
I am such good friends with him. His kids call me Uncle
Okay.
Troy, and so I've been friends with him. As a matter of fact, that is the first Greek restaurant I ever ate at, and the first time I ever ate Greek food. And I was
Awesome.
with Eugenie Morrow, Al Morrow's daughter.
Okay.
Which, by the way, we're not related. We checked the lineage. We were dating at one time. Imagine my surprise when I did not ask her last name, because really cares about last names. And she said, one day I'm like, yeah, hey, she's like, I'm going to start calling you Morrow. And I said, okay. And she said, yeah, because my last name's Morrow too. I'm like, wait, what? What in the kind of Denham Springs stuff's going on over here? So I called my grandmother. I said, look, you need to call, Uncle this one and then and find out what's going on. Because they all the Morrows derive from the Vols Parish area. Lauraville, Moraville, all those areas. Okay. So there was a possibility I could have been dating and thus, hanging out with my cousin.
Yes.
And it turned out we wasn't. We became good friends. To this day, we're still good friends. She's a great girl. I love her to death. And that's why God put my beautiful wife, Jillian, in my life. I had to throw it in there just in case she's
Well,
listening.
I also want to say that we love the people of Denham Springs.
No. That's a joke because
and-
I have a ton of my good friends. A lot of the contractors that I work with
Mhm.
live in Denham. As a matter of fact, my flooring guy, 40 Rancher, lives on Rancher Road.
Okay.
Got his own road, bro.
And it's
It was
named,
his great
the road's
grandpappy.
named after him or after the salad
After his
dressing?
great. No, it's not ranch. It's rancher.
Oh,
Like I'm a rancher.
gotcha.
Like Ronald Reagan was. He was a rancher.
Was he?
Oh,
He was an
get
actor.
out there in his cowboy boots on, ride the horse, and go cut stuff down trees. Yeah. And so, look, one of the things, too, I want to tell you, because I speak Arabic. Kifala alhamdulillah matsut, mashallah, masalama, mafifalus. So, I'm multi-talented in linguistics.
What just happened?
Yes, I speak a lot. You think I'm not like dumb. You think I'm dumb.
Settle down,
I'm
Fredo.
smart.
Settle down, Fredo.
I'm smart.
Listen,
I can
what
do
just
things
happened?
not like dumb.
Does-
You think that I'm not this educated? Just look at this brain. They call you the brain. They
brain.
should call me the double brain.
Okay.
Yeah, my older brother's nickname is the brain too, coincidentally. And he tried 682 times to get on Jeopardy, and he could never make the cut.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you could.
Uh,
So, because we normally dress our po' boys with this is your
lettuce,
line.
mayonnaise, lettuce, pickle, tomato.
Do you think pickles would taste good on that?
I don't.
Okay. So
But
guess what?
there's dill in the sauce, though, right?
No. So here, that's where we going. You ever heard of tzatziki sauce?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. So they got the cucumber.
And
little
the-
hint.
Right. Cucumber
Not-
and
not
dill, but it hasn't been
sour.
pickled, right?
Not
right,
sour. And they make it with, and we make it, but actually it's Ross's recipe. And you make it with yogurt.
right.
You chop up the cucumber.
Greek yogurt, yeah.
And I got that too. We're not
Okay.
putting no mayonnaise on it either.
All right.
And I've got the same kind of grilled onions that they make that you get when you get the gyro.
I love
So,
it.
brother, when I tell you, and sister, and other brother, when I tell you this is gonna blow your taste buds out the water, you let me know. You give me the sign.
Mhm.
Because I'm one of the best players in the game.
Here we go.
And your best player just showed up to feed you today.
Beautiful. Absolutely
So
love
you
it.
let me know. You what we at?
So-
8:44. So we got to take another 30.
We'll take the break in
Okay,
4.5
let's go.
minutes.
See,
we'll take a break in 4.5 minutes.
I even
need
know
to jump in.
radio. I mean-
I need to jump in for a
Hey,
quick minute
where
to
you
remind
going?
you about the beefitswhatsfordinner.com is the website. Beefitswhatsfordinner.com for your recipes, for your health information. I mean, protein, iron, 10 vitamins and nutrients. You're going to find all the health benefits of beef at beefitswhatsfordinner.com. You absolutely can.
If you want to get big and you out there like my son Rocco who's playing football at Catholic and you're younger and you're 14, 15 years old, meat and potatoes.
Yeah.
Steak and potatoes, protein and potatoes. And I promise
you get the protein the right way for sure. Yes.
Wait, man, I'm
Absolutely.
telling you to put some weight on you and it'll stimulate growth in that pituitary gland.
Yep. The what gland?
The pituitary gland. It's
There.
been scientifically proven that
Oh,
beef
Lord.
causes extra amount of
Testosterone.
to flow from your pituitary gland. That's right, your testosterone. I don't know if it has an adverse effect on women. So you might not want it because you don't want too much estrogen.
No, so I don't need
Did
to
I
be
tell you
pounded
about when I
steak.
went to sorority rush at LSU with my daughter? It sucked all the estrogen on. Did I tell you that story?
No.
Oh Lord.
That's coming up next.
Okay.
Let's take our 30.
We don't have a 30 right here.
Let's take our 20.
We don't have a break
Let's
right
take
here.
our 10.
You want me to? I
You
can do
ready?
a live read. I got a live read in the
You
books.
can do you ready? All right. So let me set everything up.
Oh Lord.
Okay,
I
a
was
little bit of
mute,
foreshadowing.
Yeah.
Before
What's
anyway? Remember what I always say. Whatever goes on here is merely an exhibition.
Okay.
Okay. Anything that we refer to, any persons or whatever, is merely a coincidence, and it's not factual.
Okay.
And as always, please, no wagering.
Okay.
So, with that being said, my brother, he's turning red. Bree, I got him to turn red.
I'm good.
And so-
I'm good right now. Let's move
So,
this before I get hurt.
New Orleans fresh French bread came in this morning. As luck would have it, I actually left the restaurant at 7:15.
Okay.
Okay, that's how long it took me to
Traffic's
get here.
been a bubble.
And as I'm rolling out, the bread guy's rolling in from New Orleans.
Nice.
He's Latino.
He's Latino.
Sí, yo hablo español. ¿Qué pasa, amigo? ¿Cómo está? Qué bueno el fin de semana. ¿Tú tienes mi pan? Ok. Puse está aquí, por favor, en el carro, ok? Entonces, muy importante, rápido, porque no tengo mucho tiempo ahora mismo. Entonces, está
I don't
aquí.
speak Spanish.
They
or
have
Arabic.
Spanish listeners. Look, you got.
I don't.
You got. Look, I'm telling you, you do not know the Spanish listeners you have. All my guys listen to you because they want to hear me on here.
Well,
So-
that's true.
So
That's
wait.
true.
So wait. Okay. With that being said, because estoy el jefe, I'm the boss, right? And
I'm a little heavy too.
They start. No, tú eres muy gordito. That means you're big.
Yeah.
Pero tú tienes muy fuerte también. Levanta los pesos todos los días. Estoy fuerte.
Yeah, I've been lifting.
There you go.
I have
See?
no idea what he said. I just
a lot of
responded.
words are similar, and yeah, you can kind of figure it
Well,
out. If
you
listen
speak
well
with your
enough.
hands more than any.
I'm Italian,
and
dude.
Shalmatian. So you put those things together.
Do you know the knack? Or are you down with the knack?
Do what?
The knack.
The knack.
What?
I have my own vernacular.
Yeah.
Oh.
I speak my own language.
I know some of it.
Wilson's sitting there looking at me like
Wilton.
this.
Well,
This
his
son of
name's
a
Wilton.
B word is flipping nuts. That's what is on his mind.
Poor
Are
Wilton.
you going to be producing in the future?
On and off. When Breland goes out.
Yeah, I have a
Whenever
beach
she-
trip in July, so he's going to be producing. But get
Lovely.
this. He was doing the 6 and 7 o'clock hour, and he goes, you
Yes.
got to switch with Wilton.
Well,
because-
next week, guess where I'm going to be?
Where you going, Rocco?
He should know this. Where I'm going to be next week. I always come. I always come beforehand. Ooh.
No.
that
Where are
didn't
you?
come out
No.
right.
Move
Brian
on.
is laughing. Somebody texted him. Go ahead.
Well,
let
no,
us
no,
in
no,
on
no,
the
no, no.
outro.
We got to get to the break. for the
Okay, let's
joke.
get to the break. I'll set up and we'll be
I'll
ready
tell you
to
this.
make the beef shawarma po' boy nut.
The joke came from Paul Arrigo. That's how you know we have to wait till
Oh,
break.
my
Okay.
goodness.
You have 1 minute, Brian.
We got a minute. Well, then,
Who
okay.
let the Italians in?
So
You know,
we got
Can I say
an
something real quick about
Italian
this?
making
Yeah,
a Greek
I just said.
sandwich off of Leidenheimer bread
That's
that was
correct.
delivered by a Latino.
There you go.
This is the United Nations. This is the World Cup.
No, bro.
This is the World Cup of sandwiches.
And look, here's the thing. I preach to you this all the time. It takes a village. We are the world. We are the children. We are the ones who make a brighter day. So let's start giving.
Just keep going.
What
Let's
is
see-
he
There's
singing?
a choice we're making. We're saving our own lives. It's you. We make a better day. Just you and me.
Brought to you by
Oh!
brought to you by the Louisiana Beef Industry Council.
I'm just
Rocco is
nodding
in the
my head.
house. Been
All
waiting
right.
all week for this. Been waiting all week for it. So a beef shawarma po' boy coming up in just a little bit. He's getting
And
he's going to get to making it. Well, got Alani's. All right.
You want
God
pink?
bless.
I got,
swirl?
that's fine. All right, we got.
You want orange?
Thank you.
Yeah,
Oh,
give me
you want-
orange.
I've got.
On air,
I got
Your
one
Money Now
now.
coming up right now on Talk 107.3 FM. Glorified Crew
Oh, you
on
want pink
Facebook. Stick
slush?
around.
Good choice, my dear. Brother, if I knew you was here, I'd give you an extra one. But if you really want it, you drink them?
Yeah, I drink.
Take it, man. I just drank. a
Save your
case.
pull tabs.
Yeah, I almost choked to death in here.
Oh, yeah, I meant to tell you. So Carrie's trying to be the pull tab princess for her sorority. They're going to get.
The what?
She's Delta Gamma.
I'm fine.
The pull tab. So's Christy.
Mm.
Sister.
The pull tab
Okay,
princess.
it's
Whoever
fine.
saves the most
Oh, yeah.
pull tabs from
Sure.
cans. So They're going up against a different sorority. They're competing. I don't know what they're
So you
raising
need me
money
to save
for.
them for you?
Yeah, if you don't
You got it. No
Yeah,
problem.
so-
I'll do it. You know, last time you here, you left because you had to go downstairs, and I had my Asani, the Delani, or whatever it's called, and my tab went into the drink, and I didn't know it. And I was drinking the last of it. I went to
Swallow.
shotgun it, and I swallowed it. Like, so I felt it going down, and I tried to spit it up, and it was already down.
Crazy thing was,
So
2 days later, he crapped out a bottle cap.
no, I shit out 2 dimes and a nickel.
Thank
I was
you.
like, what the hell?
Thank you.
It's so it did come out.
It's not going to
And I
change from a
did
pull
see
tab
it in
to a
the
bottle
toilet.
cap. Right now.
Okay.
It's not.
Yeah, and so I told you my kid
Yes.
swallowed a quarter one time, and
Yeah,
I brought
you
him to the
told me that.
doctor. I told you that story. So I'm looking, and I see something shimmering.
That doesn't cut you going through. Like
It could but like those, like I popped it off, and I on the back of the can, like the part that kind of connects it was still on the can. So the part that I swallowed didn't have anything cut. So I did call my doctor. What did Rigo say?
Paul Larico says Greeks invented sex. Italians introduced it to a woman.
All right, come on.
Happy Pride Month.
Say it on the air. I dare you.
Let's look at this.
Okay. Let's look at this.
Because
All right.
Brian has to try it on air.
Got some bread. Got this.
Oh my God. Here.
You got.
Right away.
Where do you get your shawarma from?
you run a
Yeah,
restaurant, Rocco, but where's
Rocco's Cowboys with
Yeah.
Priscilla.
Rocco's
I mean, I started in the restaurant industry.
Oh, I need to go get your knife.
That's good shit.
Really do construction. We didn't get to that. I went to school for construction management. So I have a mold remediation company, all kinds of things.
Back in the day, Rocco's had you were on campus, huh, Rocco? Back in the day. That's where
North
you got
Kansas
started.
LSU. That's where I met Brian.
Really?
Well, I met Christy first.
That's true. You met Christy, but they
In
weren't
Spanish
together
class.
yet, right? They weren't together when you first
No.
met her.
No, I met her in Spanish class. Then they started eating. So I was in a bar business, a bar called Snorkels in Tigerland. You know where JL's bar is now?
Yeah.
I used to own that bar. Well, really, my buddy's dad was really the owner. I owned 10%. I meet my wife, who's almost 4 years younger than me. And she basically said, look, if you want to have a relationship with me, it can't be with this bar, because it's not going to work.
you know the business.
Well, bro, she came in with her sorority sisters. I'm 21 years old, man. I own a bar. What do you think I'm doing? I'm drinking, I'm slaying, having a good time. She comes in there. We just kind of started dating her. And she's like, thank you. And she's like, the next day, they know this, maybe Britt.
You might have told me.
We used to have these answer machines where you can leave a message, and it was a tape. You remember those?
I don't remember those, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and so, boop. This is Jill. I'm just letting you know. I don't think things are gonna work out.
No
so,
shit.
yeah. So I call her back.
This is your now wife.
Yeah. The first thing I ever told this girl was, "You're gonna marry me and have my children one day." And she's like, "What the fuck is wrong with you, dude? Who comes up with a?"
And the rest is history.
Really what I told her?
It's 8:54. Talk 107.3 FM WBRP. We're on the clock
right.
now, Rocco.
We are
You got to
ready.
remember, we were short by a
It's
segment today.
boy, and we were short a
So,
segment, and that's not my fault. I can't do anything.
Well, it
about
ain't my
traffic
fault.
And trains, I left with ample time. I run on the party time, which is always 15 minutes early.
Mhm.
So we have today the beef shawarma po' boy. It's going to be the po' boy of the week starting today at Rocco's.
What are you titling it? Do you have a name for? Oh, can I throw out a name?
Yes,
The Greco-Roman.
the Greco-Roman.
There it is.
Beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you.
So we dress our po' boys with, like we said earlier, but we're not putting pickles on it.
Or would it be the Roman Greco?
Look, you're taking up my time.
Sorry,
Would
go,
you
go,
just
go, go,
be
go, go.
quiet
Yeah,
for
go,
a
go,
second?
go.
So anyway, yeah, so we're going to put the tahini sauce on there, or tzatziki sauce,
There
I'm
you go.
sorry, feta cheese,
Uh-huh.
grilled onions, just like you would get in a Greek restaurant or in a Greek gyro sandwich, okay, and lettuce and tomatoes.
So you keep with the lettuce and tomato.
Keeping the lettuce and tomatoes, because if you eat a Greek gyro sandwich, it has lettuce and tomatoes on it,
I
man.
had Greek last night.
So,
from Starbucks Falafel.
So we're gonna dress it. Little tzatziki. Right?
So Rocco's not on the headset today, so as he turns away from the microphone to make the I'm telling him what's going on. I'm doing the play-by-play.
We're limited on time here.
We're limited on time. So he's making the sandwiches in real time because normally he does this ahead of time, but we had extenuating circumstances today that have brought the segment down by a little bit. So he's got the beef shawarma ready to roll on there, and he is dressing said sandwiches right now with the lettuce, with the tomato. Drop it on the feta cheese as we speak, and we'll make it pretty for social media later on. We got to get that. We got to get the taste test in the next 3 minutes.
Yeah, I'm a professional. Everything I produce, I send out because you know why? You eat with your eyes first, then you eat for flavor. Think about that.
I don't know. When I walk into Rocco's, it's my nose first. When I walk into Rocco's, I can smell it before I can see it.
Let me tell you something. If you're a restaurateur out there and you're listening, remember this. Everybody gets in the weeds. Everybody gets slammed. Everybody gets busy. It happens. Okay? We smoke the weeds. We're done. Boom. Oh, yeah. We smoke them.
That's what he said. He smokes weed.
We smoke the weeds. We do because we burn them because we are always consistently pop, 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 pop. If you send the food out and it takes a long time, people don't care. As long as it tastes good and looks good. Exactly.
We can mess around. We can mess around on Facebook later, but I want to make sure that the Louisiana Beef Industry Council gets delivered for the first time beef shawarma as part of Foodie Friday. So
here we go.
All right.
Ready?
Cutting the sandwich now. See, I'm supposed to chew it all up and eat it while we're on break.
Rocco and
so
I
that
can
I'm not
talk
eating
for
on
you.
air. This isn't.
Rocco and I, come on, Rocco.
This
Let's
isn't the
talk
Jimmy
about
Ott
Brian
show.
eats this.
Yeah,
Come
go
on.
ahead. Well, so taste
Brian.
it. So the thing about it is that that really sets it off is the onions. Okay,
Yeah.
The onions have the flavor, but the beef is much better because the gyro is a combination of beef and lamb.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't like lamb, and lamb has a different flavor. So I like the beef and Syrops. If I plug for Sammy and Vaskin and those guys, they have the true beef shawarma. So as a matter of fact, their father, Vaskin's father, sold gyro sandwiches in Cyprus before he came in. He used to sell 5,000 gyro sandwiches a day with beef. Beef. I'm calling it gyro, but it's beef.
But it's the shawarma is basically the way it's prepped.
Correct.
But I can tell you this. Let me give the quickest summation of this possible.
You do it, brother.
All right. When you go somewhere, when you go to like a Greek and Lebanese restaurant, you get a shawarma plate. Just throw it all on everything minus the hummus. Throw it all onto Leidenheimer bread. And that's exactly what this is, as delivered. Take a little bit of the Greek salad. Take a little bit of the tzatziki sauce. The tzatziki sauce, by the way, is phenomenal. Did you make that yourself?
I absolutely did.
Okay, tzatziki sauce made by Rocco. The flavor of the beef takes a little bit to pop because the flavor of the onions, that sweetness when you get a grilled onion, that is what pops first in this. Rocco, dude, this is a masterpiece, man.
I know. Thank you very much. In order to beat a man, you got to beat the man. And I'm not trying to sound conceited, but we won Best Po' Boy again this year. In the
Are they going to
Advocate.
retire y'all
and there's
yet?
a reason for that, okay? And so for our customers out there, your loyalty is so much appreciated. And we do everything we can to ensure that you're happy when you come in. And if we make a mistake, you can doggone bet believe it, we'll fix it. That's Rocco's Po' Boys, 3358 Drusilla Lane. 248-1999. Call in your order ahead, and we'll have it ready for you in about 15 minutes. We will be closed for the 4th of July. I'll be signing autographs on the beach. The Roman Centurion is serving the
Greco-Roman.
The Greco-Roman today.
It'll be on the board all next week.
Romano Santoro.
Minus, of course.
That means in Spanish.
I almost made it.
The show's over?
No,
we got 30 seconds.
Brian's
30 seconds.
losing it now.
Go ahead, Brian. I love you.
can't
Happy
even talk.
Father's Day. Happy Mother's Day.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you, Wilton. Did I say it right?
You did.
Yeah,
All
he almost
right.
called him
All right.
Wilson
Looking
again.
forward
Y'all
to
go to
seeing you again,
Rocco's
Wilson.
next week. Get the Greco-Roman. It really is a
Starting
masterpiece.
today, Haldane.
It's an explosion
Starting
of
today.
flavor. It's starting today. Moon's up next on air. Glorified Crew on Facebook. Stick around.
Not bad for quick.
Oh, crap.
You got to hit fast, bro. You sting. You float like a butterfly. You sting like a bee. It's always pow, 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 pow. And you just keep going. See, unlike the train that was sitting there for flipping ever.
I need to try this. Hang on.
I'll make you one right here, baby.
You eat this? Well,
Yeah,
you want
Yeah,
one?
have some. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I got.
Okay, we gonna split
I made
this.
3
Yeah.
normally.
This is too big.
Yeah, I didn't eat no breakfast. I'm actually.
Starving to death.
I really
Sounds
did
really
wash
good.
my hands. Now that mic may be dirty, but I forgot my gloves in the truck and I didn't have
Nobody's
time.
worried
Boy,
about
you
it.
were coming in like it was hot rock.
Woo,
Come
man,
on, let me go give me a
shit.
plate. Hang on, let me give me.
I'm doing a freaking roof today. I'm leaving
All
for
right.
the beach on Monday.
Put it on this plate, Rocco.
You got it.
All right, Facebook. Let me give you a little more full description here. It's like Rocco knows the stuff with the tzatziki sauce.
Thank you,
Because
sir.
I love Syrup's tzatziki sauce, but they go a little bit heavy on the cucumber with the chunks, and you know how it's chunky, but the flavor's good. He's got the same flavor minus the like smaller chunks, so it's more palatable to the bite. The beef shawarma itself, he gave me a piece before making the sandwich as well. All alone, it's fantastic. Like knows what he's doing on that front for sure. But my whole thing is when you put the combination of together, Rocco, I don't normally brag on the lettuce and tomato because that's normally just, a side player. But, when you get that Greek plate somewhere and they've got the salad on the side, it's like making that salad pop on the front end.
Yeah. And so, one of the things about the salad dressing, okay,
Mhm.
I will tell you this. Syrup's, Albasha, a lot of them use a creamy salad dressing.
Yeah.
I implore you to go by Arzy's. They have a satellite location right there by the QVC on Jefferson. Okay. You know where that Pizza Hut used to be right on the street?
QVC.
So if you're heading Jefferson,
The shopping network?
No. You know where all the traffic is? So you're leaving Rocco's, you take a left, you're heading back towards Airline Highway.
Uh-huh.
Okay. When you get a little further and you cross Bluebonnet, you get a little further, they have a Pizza Hut on the corner. You take a right into that parking lot.
Okay.
When you go into that parking lot, there's an Arzy's.
Okay.
He's the only one. Go get his chicken salad. He uses like an Italian type of vinaigrette dressing, not a creamy dressing.
Which would be more Mediterranean
Bro.
by nature, right?
Bro, go try it. I'm
Okay.
telling you.
Okay.
That's why now
the creaminess
it's
comes
a
from
little-
a Greek yogurt, though, so it's not
yeah,
like it's,
but I'm not saying that they're not supposed to do whatever the case is. I'm just saying everybody's got their own little spin.
Right.
All of them that have these Greek restaurants work for the original Syrup's.
Right.
And they all were waiters and they
Yeah.
went off and opened their own restaurants.
Mhm.
That's what happened. Okay. And so, Syrup's is really good. Sammy's, the one that they have on Perkins that used to be on Corporate, is really good because it's so fresh. Now the drive-throughs are drive-throughs. You drive through, drive-through. It's quick. It's not bad, but it's not as good.
Have
as
you
if
been to
just sit down.
Starbucks yet?
I have not. They changed it.
So they're no longer Starbucks. They had to change to Starbucks. Starbucks falafel.
I did hear about
They're
that.
underrated, dude. Really amazing food, but it's going to take forever to get it.
Cafe Pizza's pretty good also.
Rocco, holy shit.
If
Yeah,
you've ever-
Rocco.
Right?
It's good.
This is some good shit.
Yeah.
You like it?
It's amazing the way it comes together like a sandwich and a salad all at once. It's crazy good.
Salad. That kid's got magic legs.
Rocco is the bomb.
So, any Hoosers, are we going to sign off on Facebook here or?
Yeah, and so
Rocco, tell about the Facebook.
No, he's going to conclude.
no. The only thing I
conclude
was
the
going to
discussion.
say is we were talking about that. So, I'm a little biased because you have to understand. I started eating Greek food with Arzy's. That's the first place I've ever eaten it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got to be good friends with them.
Mm-hmm.
Then I got to learn how to make the moussaka and a lot of stuff they make just because I just good friends. And I'm in the restaurant business too,
Mhm.
And so I think his food is the best.
Mm-hmm.
But again, that's because that's the first food I've ever eaten.
Right,
and
right.
I've eaten way more of that than anybody else's. That's not to say anybody else is bad, but I'm not going to go to anybody else's Greek restaurant except for his because that's the type of food. And I go visit Sammy. And
Yeah.
and Vaskin, those guys are good friends of mine as well. But try the chicken salad. And you're absolutely right with the dressing. If it's being from the Mediterranean, it's made with olive oil. They have a tahini, what they blend in it.
Tzatziki.
No. This
Tahini.
is, tahini is like a
It's a
sesame,
pepper. Oh,
it's like a sesame
okay,
seed
yeah.
type of paste. It comes in a giant bucket. It's like, and it separates. And you got to mix it, and then you put that in with the dressing too.
Okay.
And so, but like, you ever had moussaka?
Yeah.
Oh man,
Love moussaka.
now I'm not big on
I
that
had
parsley
some,
salad deal.
The turkey salad?
No, they got like a parsley salad.
Yeah, it's like parsley, onion, and tomato paste. Oh, I had some of that last night. I love that.
It gets all stuck in your teeth.
Nah, clean your liver out though, boss.
Oh, man, look.
All right, let's sign off.
Well, we're not done. All right. Well, no, he's not done.
I'm done.
Oh, you're
Facebook,
done? All right.
Happy
If he's
4th.
done, we're
no,
done.
No, we're staying. You want to stay?
It's up to,
I'm
on
making
your
the
time,
last
boss.
sandwich. No, I mean, if I leave here, I'm sure there's going to be traffic because that interstate was jammed. I don't know if it cleaned up by now or cleared up.
Probably. I mean, it's people get to work.
It was like, no, they had something going on. I mean, it was like backed up all the way to Drusilla, bumper to bumper.
Yeah.
I mean, usually it's moving, albeit not very fast, 20, 30 miles per hour, but I mean, it was at a dead stop.
Right.
Like not going anywhere.
Yeah.
And of course, people, because everybody's in a rush, everybody's butt hurt, they won't let me get over so I can get off the interstate.
Right.
So that pissed me off. Yeah. Fucking
stacks
so
up.
Then I get off, I whip it this way, I shoot up, and it fucking drained, dude. I'm like, you know what?
Where'd you get off? You got off at Acadian, I assume?
Yes.
Okay. And you took it up to government.
Boom.
Here's the thing.
No, I came up. I did. I counted Acadian and I went up Capitol Heights.
Capitol Heights. Okay. And then eventually you cut over to government.
Yeah. Took a left when I came up.
Probably about
Acadian,
Eugene.
left. No, you're right. I came up Capitol Heights, took the left, and then got on government right
Here's
there.
The thing.
Acadian.
Let me just tell you this right now. Don't ever take government again.
Go straight.
Go
up
one more
north.
block up to North Boulevard, and then they've got the overpass.
But see, guess. But where I was, I'd already exceeded the overpass. Okay, and so I think so. When I came up by St. Vincent,
if you exceeded the overpass, you exceeded the train tracks.
I got to St. Vincent de Paul, and I took that left.
Oh, okay. No, okay. You're talking about those 2 blocks where you would have to backtrack to come back around.
That's right.
Okay.
And I was already.
You overcommitted. Yeah, you overcommitted.
I was trying to get because Waze and shit will send you the quickest route.
So Christy always gives me crap because I like to say I don't participate in traffic. And she's like, how could you not participate in traffic? Traffic is traffic, right? I always believe that there's another route. Like yesterday we were going to Parkview Baptist, which by the way, I should have done this on air. I got to give a shout out to Coach Waller. Tim Waller at St. Joseph's. This has been an amazing month with Abby in basketball, but that's I'll save that for on the air next week. But we were going to Parkview for the last games of the summer session last night, and Sherwood was just gridlocked. So we found another way. There's back streets and back streets where you're like driving through someone's, like Ferris Bueller's Day Off. You're running through the backyard. That's basically what we did. So I don't participate in traffic. That's kind of my thing. Anyway,
you don't participate in traffic.
I don't. There's always another way.
Do you freaking have?
Bree Lynn just burped on air. What the hell?
I'm one of the men.
That's.
I can turn around. Thought it was Brian. She's like, "Oh, excuse me. We are definitely going drinking now, girl."
Come on.
All right.
I can see us slamming back tequila.
I don't know where to go after that, so I guess we will sign off now.
Woo! Happy 4th of July holiday, everybody. Take a little time, spend it with your family, and look, getting away, make it mandatory in your life. Get away from work because it's good for the soul.
It is,
and you need it. Good for you, brother.
All right.
Now you're back to the grind.
We'll see y'all on Monday.
Back to the grind.